Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome to the very first episode of the Horsey and Fox podcast. I am one of your hosts here, Lasers James, formerly one of the Four Pillars, and I'm joined by my co-host, my brother, Long and Fox George, also formerly one of the Four Pillars. How's it going?
It's going brilliant. Yeah, we're retired Four Pillars now. We're on this ragtag podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's today, by the time this episode goes out, I'm going to have changed my Twitter bio officially to say formerly one of the Four Pillars, because I'm putting this podcast out same day as my channel relaunch. So
shit.
That's it. It's officially over. It's officially gone.
The era of the Four Pillars is fucking
the
done.
Era of the Four Pillars. It's over. It's done. We've gone our separate ways.
Never have to use Skype again.
Yeah, thankfully. Well, I mean, it depends. I'm probably going to do something with Tyler at some point, which means I will have to use Skype again. Can't uninstall it. I've got to go back, but I've never had audio issues the way that you have audio issues.
I had fucking terrible problems with Skype. I have a bone to pick with whoever made Skype.
Every single time. I mean, that last Unity co-op video we made was born of you having... Well, it was kind of born because Unity's fucked, but also, like... The first, half an hour or whatever was you not being able to get your mic to work in two places at once.
Yeah, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. It's only Skype that does that issue. Because right now, we're using Discord. I have my mic working perfectly in Discord, my mic working perfectly on OBS, and everything's fine. It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, Discord is based, so there is that.
It's a base gamer moment.
Exactly. But, yeah, this is the new show. This is the Horsey and Fox. I was almost going to say Four Pillars podcast, then it's not that.
It's the Four Pillars podcast. So this is the
past
cast.
This is the past cast. Welcome. We're going to do a spoiler cast on Shrek today. It's going to get 2 views because whatever.
Do Puss in Boots The Last Wish or something, you know?
I've heard that's pretty good. I've heard from people, word of mouth.
From twitter.com.
Probably go watch that
this sort of harkens back to, back in the day when it was just me and you on a channel. What was the first channel we had?
The first channel that we had. Well, we did. I mean, we technically started YouTube together. We were a throuple. Me, you, and Jake.
Jake, yeah, that guy. We won't say his second name. We won't dox him. I nearly did. No, yeah. Well, that's the good thing about this. We're not live, so that's true. Yeah,
whereas with Horsey and Fox, the usual live streams, obviously we're live. Anything can happen. And that's terrifying.
And I can dox you and Elva on multiple different occasions.
Exactly. Or yourself at times.
That's true. I also do it to I don't discriminate. I do it to myself as well. It's
exactly, yeah. So that makes it okay. These obviously aren't live. They're pre-recorded, which is, gives a bit of a different vibe to it. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more laid back. Who knows? But the idea of the show is sort of what I wanted to do for it was... I mean, me and Tyler, when we were wrapping everything up with As Always, when we were wrapping up Four Pillars, and me and Tyler weren't sure... Well, I wasn't sure what I was doing next in terms of podcasts and Patreon content and where that was going. So, a decent while ago, me and Tyler were like... I was like, you know what? I think it would be good if me and George did a podcast. And Tyler was like, yeah man. George needs a podcast. If you're going to start one up, do it for him. He needs to be on a show. And I was like, that's a good point.
He's my publicist.
That is a good point.
Tyler's my publicist.
Exactly. Because like Tyler always said, I mean, you were pretty much the main character of Four Pillars podcast. If I can just get you on a show and we can have content, then that's fine. I'm just doing the Tyler job now.
Exactly.
And it's an interesting experience, but
that's true.
It's the show is essentially a combination of all the different shows that I've done over my time doing shows. So a combination of the As Always podcast, sort of news-based current events.
Yeah.
Clubhouse, which is topics submitted, a bit more personal, a bit more laid back, and obviously Four Pillars podcast by throwing in a bit of George's Recommended in there.
Yeah, boy.
So that's pretty much the idea of the show. And we'll be putting out every other Monday. So today obviously is the... When does this come out? The 30th of January.
Damn,
so
every Jan.
So 2 weeks from now, the next episode. 2 weeks from then, the next episode. We'll try to be as consistent as we can be. And that's generally the idea for the show. I don't think there's anything else. I don't really have anything written down.
This is going to be more consistent than the fucking Horsey and Fox stream series.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talking about Horsey and Fox stream series, we are starting up again. Should be starting up again. I mean, I briefly spoke to you about it, but I don't know if you're busy all of a sudden or something.
I won't be. I'm sure I won't be busy.
This coming Saturday, the 4th of February, we should be starting up Horsey and Fox again.
Yeah, boy.
Starting Final Fantasy VII.
The original. The beautiful original. We'll finish it this time instead of when we played Final Fantasy VII Remake hard mode and didn't finish it.
Yeah,
it was too hard.
The time. It was, we gave up on the Reno and Rude boss.
It's too hard.
I was able to play it.
Fuck that. We were so close, to be fair. We got so close, but it was too hard.
Did we? We were probably like halfway through.
Really? Fucking hell. It's been a while since I've played and finished that game, so I literally don't remember it very well. Banger, though. Yeah. Great game.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's. No, it is good. It is good. It is good. It is good. It's just. Well, look, listen. When you play the OG, it just gives you a whole new perspective, and it's just.
Yeah, but isn't the OG like a complete game as well? Like it's like.
Yeah.
The whole experience, whereas Final Fantasy VII Remake is. No, I don't think my opinion on Remake will change after OG. I don't think it will. I'll still like it.
Your opinion on Remake probably won't change after OG. It is more the compilation that does it.
Yeah. I mean, I am really interested to see like what's so bad about Crisis Core, because I mean it's got this infamous status now.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because you know.
Fucking hell, I'm so sorry. I keep coughing like a fucking absolute madman. It's terrible.
It's fine. There's nothing you can do about it. You're alright. It's Crisis Core going into it for me was like, I knew it as like this game. Like I expected to love it. I'm like, I've never heard a bad thing about Crisis Core until I played it. I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to be a great game. I'm sure of it. And like, I went into it wanting to like it, and like, you can watch my streams and you can watch my video, obviously, if anybody's interested. And you can see me at the beginning, like really trying to like it and get into it. Yeah. And slowly, I'm just like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it just sucks. And it's like the way I've described it to people is that I think it's what people who don't like and haven't played Kingdom Hearts think Kingdom Hearts is like. Like, where it just doesn't make sense and everyone's talking shit and, like, it's got bad voice acting and all of this stuff. And it's just weird. And, like, I think, you know, the biggest offender is that it just retcons Final Fantasy VII for some reason.
Yeah, you did say that it sort of, like, changes scenes from the original Final Fantasy VII for no reason.
Like... It'll be like, you'll be watching a scene that's in Final Fantasy VII, you'll be like, oh, this is cool, and then all of a sudden, like, major things will happen that just didn't happen in the original. You're like, wait, that changes everything, though. And it's like, why have you done that? Because 7 is a near perfect game. So, making those changes to me is just so odd. When they're not even good changes, like, they're so bad. It's just, yeah, it's really difficult to explain without going into detail and obviously spoiling it, but we'll experience it on Horsey and Fox starting... February 4th, we'll be jumping into Final Fantasy VII.
We're going to do Dirge of Cerberus as well.
We will, yeah, we could do Dirge.
Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog Final Fantasy game.
It's, Dirge is, yeah. I mean, it's a game.
Shite. I've seen gameplay of it, it looks shite.
It's bad in a way where it's like the most forgettable thing ever.
Yeah.
Which some would say is probably, you know, a good way to be bad, in that no one will remember it. You can move on.
You don't have to care. I imagine there's a lot of people. There's probably like some subset of fans on Twitter that just absolutely love it. Like, I actually really enjoyed that Dirge game, mate. It was actually really good. I really liked the tone. It was really dark.
Dirge of Cerberus is a hidden gem, I'm sure, to some people.
Yeah, there's probably a video essay out there. It's like fucking stating that Dirge of Cerberus is a hidden Final Fantasy gem.
Yeah, I mean, look, if people can find love in it, I guess that's fair enough, but...
No.
Bloody hell.
I don't want people to enjoy it. They can fuck off.
Okay, good point. Yeah, fuck them.
That's how it works.
But that's the plans for Horsey and Fox streams. That's the show that we're doing today, Horsey and Fox podcast. But this obviously is a new show. This is a new era. The Four Pillars, like we said, is gone now.
Let the past die.
Officially.
Kill it if you have to.
Exactly.
God.
It's a classic.
Why did I reference fucking Force Awakens?
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
I don't even like Star Wars anymore.
That's from The Last Jedi.
Is it? I swear it was from. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe I don't remember.
It's from The Last Jedi because everyone quotes that line as being like, "No, this movie sucks because it tells you to let the past die," whereas like that's the villain saying it. So like that's actually not what the movie's saying at all. Kylo Ren's the bad guy.
He's evil.
But anyway, the point is. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Four Pillars is over. So we're moving into a new era. What are your thoughts? Because it's been a few weeks now. We've had it's been a month or two now since we wrapped up Four Pillars podcast, and we've not done one since. And it's been going into a new territory. How's that? What are your thoughts post Four Pillars?
My Sundays have certainly been a little bit more free. I haven't had to wake up at 12 or before 12, which is great. I mean, because some Fridays I tend to stay up a little bit late, and then I like go to sleep, and I wake up and I'm like, shit, I'm nearly late for the podcast. So that was great.
Wait, you go to sleep on Fridays and then wake up on Sunday?
Oh shit, sorry, no. Yeah, I do that.
I was gonna say, fuck me. I mean, that sounds like you.
Yeah.
You sleep the whole weekend. You're like, oh no, I missed Saturday.
I go into fucking hibernation. Oh god. Yeah, I go to bed Saturday night, because Saturdays are sort of throwaways for me. They go so quickly because I sleep in on a Saturday, and then I sort of potter around in like the morning, and by the time I know it's like 2 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like, fucking hell, jeez, I got like no time left. And then I end up spending like a good amount of time like gaming into the night. So then when it goes in gaming into the night, what a sentence.
Gaming into the night, just 5 more minutes turns into 5 more hours.
When your mum says you got to go to bed, you're just like, let me just finish this mission, mum, and it's like 6 hours long. What was I saying? Fucking don't you remember?
Gaming into the night.
Yeah, I'd game into the night. Game away into the night. And then I'd wake up on Sunday and be like, fucking hell, I'm not prepared mentally for this podcast just yet. I mean, that's kind of what happened today, really. That's kind of what happened today.
Yeah,
guys, if you're watching this and you see I look really dishevelled. My eyes have big bags under them. That's because I was playing Dead Space until about 4 a.m. So
yeah,
it just happens. So it's been nice to be able to, sort of just chill on Sunday and not have to worry about that. But we're back on the grind.
I'm sorry for dragging you back.
That's fine.
Dragging you back out.
Fine. I've got recommended to give people. I have shit to chat. People need it, man. They need it.
That's good. It's been interesting. I mean, for me, it's been weird because I've done how long has it been now that I've done? Well, it's been 2 years since I've done 3 shows every fortnight. So
fortnight.
I would alternate between As Always and Four Pillars, and then I'd have Clubhouse in there as well, so it'd be those 3 shows to do.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was As Always, Clubhouse, and Cinema Room. So it's been a while since I've done that many shows. So just doing one show is a lot better. Yeah. Obviously, a lot easier. But it has been weird, like having to plan, new podcast, new artwork, channel relaunch.
That's true.
Redoing my channel, all of this stuff, like a bunch of things. Normally, I'd be doing it with Tyler. Like we'd hop on a Skype call, sadly. And
this time you'd be on your own because I'm not.
And I'm on my own.
Shit.
Well, like me and Tyler have said, you're the content. I'm doing the Tyler job at this point.
You're the manager. You're
Yeah, but back in the day, like, me and Tyler would be coming up with new ideas or figuring out where we take the Patreon next or, this and that and whatever. And it's been weird to do, like, a whole channel relaunch and relaunch the Patreon on my own and, like, overhaul it, rebrand it and stuff.
It's kind of sad.
I mean, it is a little bit sad. I wasn't going to say that. But
Tyler's
it is
Force
a
Ghost
little bit.
is, like, looking over your shoulder as you're doing it. Like, come on, man, you can do it, man.
He's spurring me on. But I'm thanking everybody that supported, the Patreon relaunch that happened and everything. It's been good, and like I started Jazz Lounge in the first episode with Robin
cool
a few weeks ago, and that was cool. Got some interesting guests lined up for the next couple episodes of Jazz Lounge. That'll be cool.
We've got Kizek coming back on.
We've got Kizek coming up. He's cosplaying on the show.
He's cosplaying as Eivor Wolfkiss this time, and he's just kissed a woman.
Favorite character. That's the thing. He sees Eivor as himself.
Yeah, and he sees the girl that he's pursuing as Odin.
I was gonna say Randvi.
Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
I just feel like it'd be funny if he has this like schizophrenic tendency where it's not even a real girl now. It's just this fucking woman that appears to him at night time.
Oh right, yeah.
And he argues with her dressed as Eivor.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, maybe he's the Odin.
He's the Odin to some poor girl.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
God, I hope he's in a fucking institute, man. All right.
I hope he's like not insane anymore. I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, true. That's first and foremost. But I also, if he's not, I hope he's in a fucking psychiatric
I hope he's somewhere safe for his benefit and others.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a weird process starting it back up, but it's I'm interested to see where we go with this. Obviously, like the nature of all these kinds of shows is eventually they evolve, they adapt, they become their own thing. That's sort of the the experience I've had with all the different stuff that I've done. Like even what we did with Four Pillars, like where it started and where it ended, it just sort of was a natural progression.
It was a completely different thing by the time it ended, to be honest. Like, that first podcast was like, when we launched the Four Pillars Network, it was like this professionally done thing, and by the end of it, it just felt like this fucking, I don't even know. It was great though, like I loved the progression of it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we started off with the Valhalla spoiler cast. We did, I mean, every show I've done, pretty much all of them have started with an Assassin's Creed one. Like, Kill Chronicler was an AC podcast, first and foremost. Four Pillars podcast started with a spoiler cast for Valhalla. Clubhouse started as a spoiler cast for the AC movie.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous. Jesus. By the end, it absolutely was not that. It was as far away from that as it could get.
This will be the first podcast that doesn't start with an Assassin's Creed-centric theme.
Exactly.
That's
making sure
Jesus.
That's the case.
That's actually kind of insane.
Because not doing that again.
Yeah, I don't want those AC. I don't want to get comments like 2 years down the line saying like, I actually think Tyler's fucking wrong about AC Valhalla's fucking brilliant. Like, I just don't need that. All right.
God, that was wild. I think that podcast has like 100,000 views or something.
Oh, fucking hell! What?
Something like that. It's close anyway.
That's ridiculous.
Which is insane. But
fucking hell.
There is that.
Yeah.
There is that. But yeah, that's the show, that's the setup, that's where we're at. Moving on, I wanted to ask you. You've been working on this Horizon Forbidden West video for a while.
Fucking hell, yeah. Yeah, I have been.
Where are you at with it? What part of the video making process?
I just finished recording the entire script, so I've been ill over like the last week, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I got right to the epilogue, and then I was like, okay, I'll leave that and I'll record the rest of that tomorrow, like 2 weeks ago or so. And then I got ill, and I was like, fuck's sake, I should have fucking finished it while I was healthy. So I had to wait like an entire week, and finally, like a couple of days ago, finished the recording for that. Yeah. And there's 11.5 hours of fucking audio.
Jesus Christ.
I need to cut it down.
11.5 hours. That's insane. That's
too much.
That's insane, because you could make like an hour-long video. Like that's like 11 videos.
I know, it's fucked. I need to cut it down, I think, a little bit in certain areas.
Oh wow,
but
that's
I'll
wild.
Cross those bridges when I come to them.
That is insane. I thought my God of War Ragnarok video was long. Like the audio's come out at about 5 hours.
Whew. That is long though. That's the thing. Mine's just too long.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but it's I've trimmed mine down a little. I've done a little bit of chiseling to it so far. I think I've managed to take like an hour out, to be honest.
See, that's good. I need to do shit like that.
But hopefully there'll be a little bit more to take out. Just sort of as you get like even just taking out like the bad takes, where like not as in bad takes. I only have good takes. But I mean, like, the bad recording bits where like I fuck up a sentence or choke on my words or whatever.
Yeah. That takes
a
out
lot
a decent
of
amount. Yeah.
And I did like a decent bit on camera, so some of that is like just me setting up and stuff. So I just editing all of that stuff out. Getting it tight. I've taken a bit out.
Trims it down nicely.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how your Horizon video turns out, and hopefully,
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm ill. Kind of.
Amazing. Hopefully, like your video gets traction and people see it, because I feel like that's a big video. That's like there's a lot going into it.
There is a lot.
I feel like it'd be nice for that to
There is
seen.
a lot. I feel like even if it doesn't take off straight away, it'll be one of those videos that could possibly later down the line. I don't know. I'm gonna give it like a dramatic title, like Horizon Forbidden West: The Ultimate Review or something like that. It's just so people know that it's the definitive fucking video on Horizon, because I've put my fucking soul into it.
Yeah. Well, I remember White Light, who did the 7-hour video on Death Stranding, named his originally. He's changed the name now, but it was originally, I think it was Death Stranding, the 7-hour critique or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's kind of, owning it.
White Light, mate. Mine's fucking longer, so fuck off. It's like that video Pyrocynical made that was like 9 hours long or whatever the fuck. And mine's longer than that.
Thing?
Yeah.
Really?
It was like a video he made on like some fucking TV show called, I don't remember what it was called. Utopia?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Was it
7 hours and 41
7
minutes.
hours, yeah.
Nearly 8 hours. Best and worst show you haven't seen. Yeah, I remember seeing that pop up, and I was going to watch it, and I just was like, I don't really have time.
I watched it. It was a good video.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a great watch.
It is. So yeah, this Horizon video, it's taken a toll on me. I think to think that technically the process of making the video started last February. Now it's nearly a year on, and I haven't uploaded since like my Assassin's Creed Revelations retrospective.
Yeah.
It feels like I haven't made a video in I haven't made a video in so long. It's weird that I'm finally now back to the editing process after over a year of like not editing a video at all. Like for my personal channel anyway. It's weird.
It's crazy.
But I'm gonna try and make it this cinematic storytelling experience that's immersive, and yeah, I've got big fucking plans for it. And I can't wait to get down to the nitty gritty of just like editing it all together and making it perfect. Because I'd be lying if I said that I'm not looking forward to being done with it.
Yeah. It's one of those things. When you have one of those projects, it's like. The process is good, it's fun, and you want to make it, but also at the same time, you're like, fuck, this is a lot, and it's taken a while.
You want it to...
Especially with your one, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
Working on a single video.
I mean, I have been also writing another script for another video, sort of alongside it. A fucking Sonic Frontiers critique, which is now...
yeah, you did say you was going to.
It's about fucking 20,000 words long for that as well. So, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous how much I write for these things. I need to stop.
Yeah, that is fucking insane.
But I've got things to say in my brain. It's like, I might as well do it, because if it'll piss me off later down the line if I have something else to say, and I watch the video back and I don't say it in the video. It's like, I need to get all that out and all those opinions out there. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless.
That makes sense. But yeah, that'll be exciting. I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to watching it eventually. And I'm sure it'll be sick. I mean, as for myself, I mean, I've obviously got my God of War video in the works. I'm looking forward to that just being done, because I'm just so over it. Like,
so done with talking about God of War Ragnarok.
I just want to stop.
Yeah.
I want to stop. I think one of the reasons why it's felt like such a long process is because I started playing, obviously I played Ragnarok in November, I started writing up notes, and then the advent calendar came along, so I had a whole month of, like, I couldn't work on it properly because I was working on that. Then I wrote the script through, and then I got sick, so I couldn't record it. And then I finally got around to recording it, and now I'm in the process of, like, now I'm actually editing the video.
Yeah.
So, I want to get it done by the end of February, but we will see. We'll see. Hopefully I can do it.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of bits and bobs to do.
It's a long fucking game, to be fair. It felt very long when I was playing it.
I think it took me like 25, 30 hours.
I guess I platinumed it, to be fair, so
I did too.
Oh shit, oh yeah, you did, didn't you? It took me so long to platinum, like fucking age. It took me like a month. It was mental.
That's crazy. I mean, it must have taken me a decent bit. I mean, I need to replay the first 10 hours because my fucked up the first time. So I've got to fucking replay the first 10 hours, which is a bitch. But
God, after all this fucking time of editing and talking about it, and probably getting to the point where you're kind of sick of talking about it, now you have to play 10 hours of it. Fucking hell.
And even then I gotta fucking edit the whole thing. I gotta put it all together, and then it'll be good. It'll be good when it's out. I can just let it out there, put it out, it's done, and then I can move the fuck on.
And people will comment on the video like, actually, I thought it was a marvel of storytelling. Actually, I thought it was perfect. So fuck you.
Yeah, that will happen. But that's fine. I spoke to I was talking. I mean, this is kind of a bit of a spoiler for the next episode of Jazz Lounge, but I had White Light on that.
Ooh.
We were talking about the general, like, what it's like to do critiques and what it's like to do that long form content.
Yeah.
And what it's like to then read comments that will just dismiss the whole thing.
It's just great, isn't it?
It's, you work months and months and months on a video, and then you put it out, and someone will just dismiss the whole thing because it's long, or because they disagree with the title or the premise or something.
The best thing to do
damn it,
is have a title with a question in it. Because people answer that shit in the comments thinking they're fucking Ben Shapiro. They'll be like, actually, I'm going to answer the entire question in the title of the video in 10 seconds. I'm going to save you all 10 seconds. Not 10 seconds, I'm going to save you all hours of your life.
Oh my god, it's just like a fucking Leafy.
It does change to Leafy. It went from kind of
man.
Ben Shapiro to fucking Leafy is here. This dude's literally 30 fucking years old and he's talking about a fucking game for like 5 hours.
Oh my god. Yeah, it'll be like, you know, short answer, yes.
Yeah,
And
it's like,
well, thanks, man.
it's like, is this game as good as we remember? And someone will be in the comments, save you all a couple of hours, yes. And it's like, do you fucking have friends or like what?
You get the point. Did you get the point? The point is, I'm not trying to answer
It's a
the question as
rhetorical
quickly as possible. That's not the point. The point is the question prompts an in-depth analysis. That's the fucking point.
Yeah, that is the point.
Idiot.
It's
You
fucking terrible.
idiot.
Like, it's just
God
awful.
damn
What a stupid cunt in the comments. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you've done that, if you've listened to this podcast and you've done that before and you've tried to fucking do a gotten moment in the comments of a long critique with the question as the title, I fucking hate you. I'm going to find you and brutalise you in your own house.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty based.
That is base gaming.
But yeah, that's a whole thing. I think it's a process of like reading less comments, to be honest, because
Yeah.
they're bad. YouTube comments
Can be
are
good
bad.
though. They can be very good.
They can be. I've been trying to make a habit of replying to the nice ones and ignoring the bad ones.
I always do that. I never reply to bad comments anymore. It doesn't happen.
Well, yeah, it's the thing is, I don't reply to bad comments. Like, I don't just reply to mean ones. I reply to the ones, and this is what me and White like talked about. And I don't want to like spoil the conversation too much, but it was he was like, it's not the mean comments that are the worst, or just the negative comments. It's when they're mean comments, but they're written in a way where you're like, this person is a well put together person, and so like you read it and you're like, they must like. It's got to be coming from somewhere, and there's got to be like, why are they saying this to me? And they're saying it so sophisticatedly too, and I'm like, what the fuck? And like in the back of your mind, you're like, no, this is dumb, but there's a part of you that's like, no, there's something here, because you just can't fucking help
I
it.
used to get that until I realised that someone who's like commenting some dumb shit on my video and like writing paragraphs in one of my videos is not a well put together person. They're fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, that's it. Like, you do know, realistically, like, no, they're not. Like, if you're doing that, like, you know...
It's someone who
know,
thinks they can do the critique better than you, and it's like, well, if you can, why do you not have your own fucking channel and your own video?
Yeah, make
exactly.
one.
Don't fucking come to my comments. Well, you can if you want. Actually, you can comment shit on my video. I actually don't care. Don't come to my comments, you cunt.
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want, but at
Yeah.
the same time, like, that energy could go into making your own video and saying your own piece on your own platform,
Or
and building
that
your own
energy
space.
could be going into getting some bitches.
Yeah, true. Could be touching some grass.
Cutting grass,
Yeah,
mate.
mowing the lawn,
You can
mate.
make your own
Fucking
mowing business in
what
that
you
amount of
doing?
time, mate. Honestly,
mow my fucking lawn.
mow
you
my
nerd.
dirty lawn. That sounds weird. That sounds like a euphemism of sorts.
Oh god. You heard it, YouTube commenters.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Mow my dirty lawn.
Oh,
What
God.
was the original point we were even making?
No, just talking about where we were at with videos.
Oh yeah. Good times. I'm at a point with video. That's all I can say.
I am too. At the point of the video. It's do you when you write a script, do you have that grace period after a script is done where you just leave it for like a week or two, or is that just me?
What, like leave it before recording any? of
Yeah,
it?
just like I just don't look at it for like a week or two. I'm like, I'm done. And
No,
then
I
just
think-
leave it for a bit.
I think when I finish a script, I'm quite hyped to record it, so I go in straight away. So
Interesting.
yeah, I'm always looking forward to reading what I've written because I'm such a genius. So I want to get back straight into
true.
it.
It is fun. I mean, I like that after I've left it though, because I'll come back to it and almost
Like a
forgot
little
what I've written, and then I
surprise.
record it, and I'm like going through it, and I'm like, oh wow,
It's like you're watching
this is
someone
really
else's
good.
video.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I wrote this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I love this script.
I mean, I've had that before where I've like not watched one of my videos for a while and then watched it like a couple of years down the line and been like, this is a fucking good video, this, mate. He's fucking
Yeah.
spitting some facts. He's making some good points here. I wonder who this guy
Yeah.
is.
Like, I'm convinced by this. I
Yeah.
think this person's right.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like
it's,
one of my Demon Souls videos. So I'll rewatch that and I can't believe I made it because it's very well put together.
It's a good video. Isn't that weird though? It like that you. I can't remember if did I talk about this with Robin or was this someone else? I don't remember, but
give it everything you've got.
Give it everything you got. He sorry, I didn't put much effort into that one. We talked about the idea that you look back on a video that you made like years ago, and you're like, I don't know how I made that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was Robin. I think it was someone else on a podcast or something I listened to. I don't think I even spoke to them. Anyway, you like look back at the video, you're like, I don't know how I made that. Yeah. And like, if I could ever make that again, like, how did I do that?
Capturing lightning in a bottle. It's like you don't know how the fuck you undertakes. Because now you know the process that it would take to get to that level of quality. So it's like, fucking, can I do that again? Or like, you know, was that just me blindly like stumbling into something that was great a while ago?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, now I know what it takes to do that. Am I willing to do that again? I don't know. Yeah, that's why I've got like fucking terabytes worth of Elden Ring footage on my computer and still have no intention of tackling the big Elden Ring video because it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in a couple years you'll probably also look back on what you're making now and think the same about it. Yeah. But it's like this weird process of like you think you're incapable of making a thing that you already made, and like you're still making things. It's a weird feeling because it's such like a monumental process to create a big video like that.
Yeah, it is. And it's exciting when you start a new one, like it really is, but it's also like very daunting at the thought of starting a new one, especially when you I feel like whenever you make one of those, you learn so much from that process of creating it that the next one becomes just naturally more ambitious just because you have better skills of editing and writing and stuff. So it's every time it's even bigger than the last. It's fucking, I mean, I'm never going to make a video as big as the current one ever again, I don't think, but
yeah. But it's a process where you do feel like you just hone your skills. It's really fun in that aspect. You're like a sim. You're a sim when you like click learn skill, and then the bar loads above your head.
And you get XP.
That's what it feels like.
Whatever it is.
Exactly. I don't know if you get XP in The Sims, but
it's like you probably do now. It's probably got RPG aspects in it.
Probably true. You get quests in The Sims, daily quests.
I used to lock my sim in a room and have him paint all day. Do nothing else. Yeah, painting.
Oh, paint. Like, I think they like paint the walls.
Nah, like as in just paint canvases like all day, constantly, just speed it up, just get another one out, and then go eat dinner, and then just come back and do it more.
Yeah, I don't know why. Capitalism had your sim by the balls.
It did. I was forcing him into just. Well, he was working from home, to be fair, so he's
funny.
A bit of a lucky bastard in that regard.
True. That is true.
Didn't make enough money to get by though. Bless him. Hence why I left my child on the beach.
Oh my god. Classic Sims. God, I miss The Sims. What a game.
Oh, so good.
What a game. But yeah, I mean that's the video projects. That's what we got going on. That's what's coming up.
Big things happening.
Yeah. But to talk about current events, to talk about what's going on currently in the media, there's a big controversy blowing up a storm on Twitter.com.
What is it?
That being the release of the brand new Square Enix game Forspoken.
Oh yeah. Good game.
People are angry. People are
irritated.
Think it's hilarious. People are mad. People are both ways. People are mad at the game. People are mad at the people who don't like the game. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the game, you're actually wrong, and I don't know, probably racist or something. That's a thing that's going around.
It, all right, you're fucking hurting the devs. You cunt.
You're hurting the devs. If you don't buy it, you're hurting the devs. Like it's ridiculous. Fucking conversations.
I fucking hate people like that.
It's been crazy looking at the discourse around Forspoken, a game that originally when it was announced, I was like, this looks great. I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I was really excited for it when I remember first seeing it and thinking this is going to be another certified Square Enix banger.
Yeah,
until I heard the dialogue.
Really nice. It's exactly. It was it was running on the the Luminos engine, the same as Final Fantasy 15. So visually very nice looking.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It still is beautiful, to be fair.
Yeah, it's still a nice looking game. I mean, my major issue with it is the graphics settings. I mean, you've not played Forspoken, right?
No, I've not touched it because I'm base. So
this I probably wouldn't have, but Square Enix did send me a code. They sent me two actually. I gave one to Jas.
Jas!
So
I would have taken that off your hands, but that's fine. I see how it is.
Well, you weren't around and you didn't ask me.
I'm not a
so...
broke bitch anyway. I can buy it for myself. I'm a fully grown man, alright? Right, sorry, carry on. Sorry, Jazz.
So I got a code, so I've been playing it a little bit. I've only played about like 3-4 hours of it. I think one of the biggest issues right off the bat is just the way that it's just poorly optimized.
Yeah.
Or it's not been refined, like the graphics options. So like you've got there's 3 graphics options. You've got ray traced, which runs at about 20 frames a second.
Fuck that.
You've got quality mode, which runs at 30, but it's not a perfectly stable 30. And then you've got performance mode, which runs at 60.
That's the one.
It fluctuates between 50 and 60, which isn't horrible,
but
it is noticeable, and it does drop the resolution quite a bit. So if there's a lot going on screen, especially with all the magic particles, it's quite blurry.
What are they
which
doing?
is a bit not nice.
Square
but
Enix.
It's definitely the best way to play it.
I thought the NFTs were going to help your games. I thought they were going to make them so good.
Apparently not. But it's a really odd game. I mean, from your perspective, seeing the clips and stuff online, what are your thoughts on it, just from that perspective?
Have you seen that clip of that dude who's like really sick at the combat, and he strings together like magic spells and stuff, and like does crazy shit? That looks sick.
I have seen some clips like that. Yeah,
like that looks really cool. The combat looks fun from that regard, and the traversal looks quite fun as well. You can just sort of like run really quick and like jump about and shit. Yeah. But beyond that, I don't really know much about the game at all. Like apart from the fact that like the dialogue is like fucking Joss Whedon's wet dream.
Yeah,
it looks alright. I'll probably still play it, to be honest, just to find out what it's like for myself. But it looks like, I don't know, like what kind of RPG aspects does it have? Like, does it really have any? Or is it like
a skill tree?
Is it like Final Fantasy 15, where it's like it masquerades as like a modern RPG, but doesn't really lean into that whatsoever?
I don't even know what to say about it. It's a really weird game. Like, the game, it doesn't give you enough freedom like to do anything. So like you'll be exploring, and the game will just like, for the first like 2 hours of the game at least, the game will just keep stopping you constantly. Like, the game just halts, it just stops your character, and it zooms in on a point of interest and goes, this is what this is. I'm like, just let me go look at it myself. Why are you popping up a text box to tell me all the time? Like, it becomes really annoying. And there's, like, a mission that makes you walk around feeding sheep, using, like, eagle vision to locate the sheep.
Oh, God, I saw that clip on Twitter, and it's like, there's not even animation for feeding the sheep. It just, the screen goes black, and it says,
fed the sheep.
Fed the sheep. That's fucking hilarious.
And there's, you know, I mean, some of the enemies are kind of damage spongy. There's, especially at the beginning of the game when you only have like one type of spell, which is throwing rocks. And the
I
game
can imagine that's so boring. Just one attack, like that's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, there's variations on that attack, but it's it's like pretty much the same thing. You're just throwing rocks.
Yeah. Sounds really fun.
There's dungeons that you can do, which are just straight corridors with enemies in rooms, which is kind of sucks.
What? What are you doing, Square Enix? You made dungeons in other games.
There was a mission where you just go into a library and slowly walk to each shelf and read a book on each shelf, and there's 6 of them.
Oh my god, that's almost as good as the 3 hours of being on a yak in God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's such a weird game, because sometimes, like, when there's a boss fight with a dragon close to the start, which is really cool, the combat isn't as, like, thoughtful as you might expect.
No.
It's a lot more, like, you can automatically dodge if you just hold circle down, so you're not ever going to get hit, really.
Oh, why are they doing that? That's like the fucking phase thing
like
in Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah.
It was so lazy.
Which makes it just kind of automatic. There's a bit more sort of thoughtfulness to it, because you have like a stamina meter with it, so you can't just hold it forever, but the game doesn't really test that very much.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, sometimes when you're traversing it feels great, and then other times it just feels a bit clunky and weird, and like you're just like glitching off of stuff.
God damn it. I was so excited for Forspoken.
It's just a weird one. Like, it is just a really weird one. So I think, like, beyond just the dialogue, there are issues with this game that it's just quite shallow and like a bit boring. And just not really what I expected, at least on a gameplay front. I expected it to at least be fun.
Yeah, that is a shame, because, I mean, I remember just seeing it and thinking, like, this concept seems so cool. Like, a girl from sort of the modern world, gets transported into this fantasy world. She gets cool powers and stuff. And like, yeah, the dialogue's one thing, but I feel like I could stomach it if the characters became compelling enough. I feel like I could stomach that type of dialogue, because I mean, I watched the MCU for years. Like, the characters were good enough that I didn't mind dialogue like that too much.
Yeah.
But the fact that the gameplay itself and like just even the way the game's built isn't up to par is like just a whole new issue. It makes me not want to buy it. I probably won't, to be honest.
It's a lot of money to pay for something that's not that good.
Yeah.
Because it is, full price for a game that feels like
it's
kind of like nothing.
What's full price? Like 70?
It's like $70.
Woo! Square Enix, what the fuck?
Yeah, Square Enix are like one of the only... I don't know if they're one of the only, but they're one of the third parties that charges a lot for their games.
They do.
Whereas a lot of other third parties won't charge quite as much. Square Enix is one of those ones that feels they can bump all of their games up to this like $70, $80 price tag, which is weird.
It's fine. Forspoken will be on fucking PlayStation Plus like before we even know it anyway.
I'm sure it will.
It'll be free.
It's it's weird. I honestly, the dialogue isn't even the biggest problem with the game. I just think there's so many other issues with it. The dialogue is like a thing that's there, and there are some lines that stand out as like, that's too much. Like some of the ones you've probably seen on Twitter.
I'm gonna start flying soon.
Yeah, that whole bit is that's not good. But it's not like when you're playing the game. Most of the dialogue, like in other contexts, it might be a bit cringe. It kind of works, and the game can take itself seriously when it wants to. There are some serious moments in there, and I feel like it balances itself out a little bit in a way that like is fine. I don't think it's actually that bad, but I also don't. I'm not gonna like write home about it. Like, this is great, amazing, like characters and story. Like it's just like not as bad as people were saying it is, which I feel like there's bigger issues here with this game to be talking about than just like the dialogue being cringe. Yeah. Because like the game is kind of fucked. So
the game is kind of shit.
It's kind of not that good.
Yeah.
It's just a bit boring, to be honest. But
just theme with modern games.
It feels like the epitome of modern gaming. Just like an AI shit out a modern game and was like, this is what modern games are.
This is modern RPG.
Yep.
There's spells and forests and stuff, and you can run through them, and cool. Magic.
Is that a staple of modern RPGs? Forests
I think it is.
Through?
Even fucking Sonic Frontiers as fucking forests you can run through.
That's true, it does have that.
Fucking every, like, what? Can you think of an RPG that doesn't have forests you can run through? Off the top of your head.
Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yeah, that's true, to be fair. They ain't got no forests because they're fucking living in Egypt.
Yeah, there aren't any forests there.
That is true. That is fucking true. That's one of few. That's one of few games where you can't run through forests.
Yeah, true. That's the exception to the rule.
It is.
Of forests being forced into RPGs by the woke SJWs.
Honestly, the fucking woke moralists. I hate these woke moralists. Bringing fucking
forcing forests into my games.
Honestly,
for fuck's sake.
It's fucking pissing me off.
Make a good game. Focus. I don't mind if forests are in my game, but it shouldn't take priority over being good, alright?
Yeah, you shouldn't just fucking put a forest in there just to fill a quota, alright? Just to make a certain community of trees happy, alright?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, there's nothing wrong with there not being a forest in your game. You know, every game seems to just have a forest now because the left wants it.
Just because my favourite game doesn't have a forest in it doesn't mean that I'm forestist. All right, okay, all right. I have friends who are forests.
Oh, God. It's ridiculous that some games feel they have to force forests in and just make the whole game forests. Like, imagine if there was a game about a forest that had no forests. Like, then what?
Oh, God.
That would be racist too. I mean, forestist too.
Forestist, come on.
Shit.
You're not talking about race. I can't believe it.
Broke the allegory.
What a brilliant segment that is.
But that's Forspoken. I mean, I don't really have much else to say, to be honest, about Forspoken. That's sort of just it. I mean... Talking about the other major release that came out is obviously Dead Space. I've not played it, but you have.
It's the other side of the coin, mate. It's fucking brilliant. I'm loving it so fucking much. It's ridiculous. Like, I only played Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, you carry on. I'll ask you.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I only ever played a bit of Dead Space 1 and a bit of Dead Space 2.
Oh, that's what
so,
I was
like,
going to ask you. I was going to ask if you played the original.
Yeah. So I only
Okay.
ever had like a small amount of experience with those games, but I did like them a lot. Like I wasn't good at it because I didn't understand. I thought it was a third-person shooter like at that age. Like I wasn't
Right, yeah.
aware of the fact that it was like more of a survival horror experience. So I was not very good at the games when I played them, so I never could finish them. But I remember bits and pieces about them, and now obviously being older and understanding that not everything is a third-person shooter, playing Dead Space 1 as this like authentic like survival horror experience. Yeah, it's so fucking good. It's ridiculous. Like the atmosphere is insane. I was playing it last night, and it was like I played it from like 1 to 4 a.m. or something like that, and it was just so spooky. Like the sound design of like you'll be walking through corridors, and there's like, because you're so hyper fixated on stuff that's going on around you, you can like hear the flickering of lights, and like you you can hear the necromorphs sort of crawling through vents and stuff, and it's just like at any point one could like drop from the ceiling or come out of like a wall or fucking like just like walk around a door or something will jump out at you. It's like this constant tension building up because they don't overdo the combat, which is something that I think is great about it. Like there's plenty of times where it's you walking through the corridors and looting stuff and like finding little secrets or like bringing power back to a certain part of the station or whatnot, and it's like the tension builds up, but there's not always necromorphs trying to kill you at all times, so there's like that sense of like at any point one could come for you, and it's like when they finally do, after all that tension, like when they finally come at you and there's like fucking loads of them and you've got to manage it in this like these sort of restrictive survival horror controls, like it's oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
Sounds sick. I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I'm going to play it on stream.
Oh man, I'll definitely watch you play it. It's so good. It's such a good time.
I think that'll be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
'Cause before the game came out, a lot of people were a little bit, I guess, skeptical as to whether this would be a faithful remake. Is it necessary? Like, are they just doing it to make money? Like, because the original still holds up and is still good.
Oh yeah, I think it does. To be fair, yeah, definitely.
But I've seen so many people be like, no, this is how you do a remake. Like, it stays faithful to the original while improving where it needs to, and playing into the original strength where it needs to as well. Not changing things for the sake of changing things.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you get, a lot of remakes like this, they'll remove a lot of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, just because better graphics. Whereas, like, sometimes, like, fog and mist and lighting was done in the old game to, build atmosphere, but also because of hardware limitations.
Yeah.
Whereas now we don't have those, so you can lift them, but in doing so, like, it breaks the whole immersion atmosphere of the game.
Yeah. They could have easily
seems,
made it play like more of a fast-paced third-person shooter, but they opted to keep Dead Space feeling like, you know how like sort of Resident Evil is with those sort of controls, and I guess the original Dead Space as well, where it is like it's restrictive but almost purposefully because you're meant to feel vulnerable. Like if you're shooting at one xenomorph, I was about to call it then. If you're shooting at one necromorph, you can't turn quick enough, really. You got to focus on that one. You can't really turn quick enough to necessarily check to see if there's one coming from your left, because you may turn back to the one you were shooting and that one's even closer than it was before, and like you get cornered and shit. So it is like it is restrictive, but it works well because you've always got that feeling of like, if I do get into a fight, I'm not immediately gonna fucking shit all over them because you are restricted in that way, and it still feels great to play. Obviously, like the guns are very responsive and punchy and very unique. And I mean, I say guns, that most of them, I mean, there's a lot of them aren't even guns. Like there's one that's like a fucking saw blade, and it's like this like weird little contraption that it's like floats this saw blade in front of where the gun is, and like you use it, but it's sort of like a melee weapon, but it's also you can shoot these buzz blades out of it as well and like cut people in half and shit. The weapons are fucking very cool as well.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to giving it a go and seeing how, because I've never played Dead Space 1. I know, because we definitely had it, because you said you played a bit.
We had Dead Space 2. I think I bought that one time. I think Dead Space 1 was on Games for Gold at some point.
Oh, maybe. Because I remember... I don't know whether I, like, watched you play it. Because I feel like I never played it myself. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, walking around, like... the outside of like I don't know whether it was like on a moon or something.
Yeah, I think it's Dead Space 2 that we played. Because I have this distinct memory of playing Dead Space 2, and I think you were there watching me play it.
Yeah, I feel like I remember it briefly. But other than that, yeah, I know like nothing about Dead Space at all, so that's going to be really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Or to play, not to watch. What the fuck
It's going to be really cool to watch.
It's going to be really cool to watch. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be cool. I've heard nothing but good things. I need a good game to play after Forspoken. So,
oh god, I mean, it's just great that after the Callisto Protocol came out and was so fucking shit, you've got Dead Space that comes back and sort of wins everyone's hearts back over for the sort of sci-fi horror genre, because Callisto Protocol was definitely inspired by Dead Space, like 100%.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, yeah.
And
yeah, well, it was the original devs, wasn't it? Right?
Oh, was it?
Like,
I don't know. I don't know much about it.
I think it was a lot of the original devs that worked on Dead Space made it, so it was supposed to be like a spiritual success sort of thing.
And it just looks awful, like in the story as well. It looks. I watched Pyrocynical play it. Pyrocynical's come up twice in this fucking podcast now.
It's the Pyrocynical podcast.
It is.
Welcome back, everybody.
He does good videos on his second channel where he'll like take a whole stream that he did for a game and then cut it down into like sort of a supercut of his experience playing it.
Oh yeah.
I watched him play Callisto Protocol, and bro, the story of that game is fucking sucks so much, man. It sucks. The characters suck. The combat sucks. The fucking optimization of the game, the way it's built, sucks. Fuck that game.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things about Callisto, which sucks because it looked cool.
It
looking
did.
At, like trailers and stuff. I was like, this looks really cool.
It did.
And then I just never played it because I heard bad things. They never sent me a code, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna pay for it.
Nah,
so
fuck that.
I'm not gonna play it.
Just give EA your money.
You know,
it's all about
exactly.
Dead Space.
I'm willing to pay for Dead Space, so I will do
man.
that.
You won't regret
and that'll be
it.
pretty cool.
It is very good.
That'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. In other news, though, before we move on, talking about horror, I guess this is sort of a segue. The Last of Us TV show aired. Have you seen any of it?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
You haven't watched any of it. Okay.
I'm gonna wait until it's all out. I think.
Okay, that's
watch
fair.
it or something.
I suppose there's not much of a conversation we could really have, but it's
just sort of give me your opinions on it.
It's decent. It's not bad.
I mean, I've heard some great things about it. To be fair,
I mean, a lot of people really like it. Which is like fair enough. I don't think it's done anything spectacular to the point where I'm like, this is incredible.
No.
I'm just like, this is a story that I know that's not as good as the one that exists already.
Yeah.
But like, there are some parts that I think what the show does well, everything new that it's introduced is really good.
Yeah.
Like, every new bit is really interesting. They do, both episode 1 and 2 had a cold open of like something happening. So like, like episode 1 is like a talk show, and it sort of sets up this idea of the infection and stuff. But it's set in the 60s. So it's like way before the outbreak.
Yeah.
And it like sets it up at this early point, and like it just adds this like tension to the entire opening of the show.
Yeah.
Because you know what's coming. Like, it's lying in wait and has been for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And then you've got another cold open in episode 2, which is also set before the outbreak and stuff, and gives us more context. And that was really well directed. Like, you can tell that those cold opens specifically, they feel like they were made by the same guy that made Chernobyl, which obviously they are, because that's, you know,
oh yeah,
one of the lead writers and showrunners of the show. And that's, you know, you can really feel that. But obviously Neil Druckmann is another showrunner, and to me the show feels like these two showrunners, I don't think their ideas work together properly. I think you need to have one or the other. And you either need to let the guy, I forget the guy's name, Craig, I think it is, the guy that was the showrunner for Chernobyl. You either need to let him just take the idea and run with it, or you need to let Neil Druckmann create a perfectly faithful adaptation.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do this both, because I feel like it's this back and forth of like this push and pull of like, oh, we're going to take it in this direction, but let's quickly bring it back around so it's just like the game. And then like it's kind of fighting itself almost. And I think all of the scenes that mimic the game are just not as good. They're just less impactful.
Yeah.
All of the scenes that are brand new are really great, and everything that is slightly tweaked is also pretty good. Like, you know, Tess's death, obviously.
I saw that. I don't think that's as good as the game.
I liked it more, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Something about it got me. I just really enjoyed that scene more than the game.
Why does the zombie kiss her?
I think this is my take on this. I was talking about it on Discord the other day about why did they choose to make it a kiss. I think it's because the story of The Last of Us, and both Craig and Neil have talked about this. Last of Us is about love, but it's about how love can be bad.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Joel loves Ellie so much that he does some of the worst things that he could possibly do.
Yeah.
And it's like that love that a parent can feel for a child can be so strong that they can do things that you just should not do. And so I think it's this idea of love, which is an inherently good thing, juxtaposed with an inherently bad thing.
And
so I think that kiss is supposed to... Yeah, I think the kiss is supposed to represent that. It's like, you know, like a kiss is supposed to be a loving act, but what it is this fungus infection infecting someone and taking their life, and it's tainting that thing that's supposed to be, you know, love. Yeah. And I think it's supposed to foreshadow and represent the story and morals of The Last of Us.
I see that. I mean, Tess is a very sort of poignant character. It's like, you know, when they leave Tess, that's really when the journey begins, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
But I guess you could also... That message is also... I think it's... what's it called? It's explored in the original scene as well, though. How it's, you know, Joel has a lot of respect for Tess, and it's someone that he's relied on for like the last 20 years or so, and all of a sudden it's taken away from him. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's pretty cool, the TV show version of it, but I like the subtlety of how it doesn't show Tess dying. It doesn't show anything happening to her. It just, the moment is, you know, she tells Joel, "You're gonna go with Ellie," and that's the end of it. And you don't see her ever again, and you know that that's her end. Like we're never gonna see Tess again. And I just like the subtlety of that, because it's almost like it's like real life. Like your brain wouldn't flash in and have this scene of Tess like kissing a zombie. Like it would just be, that's the last time you see her. Yeah. That's the way you remember her, and then you know that she dies after that. So. I don't know. I get that too. I get that too. But I see there's a lot more symbolism that you can do in film, I think, and you sort of have
I think those are the strengths of doing something in film or television compared to a video game. Is video games can work so much more better, or that doesn't sound
so much more better.
They can work a lot more using subtext with their writing. Yeah. And I think video games have a lot of strength in doing that. And so do films and so do television. Don't get me wrong. You don't just throw that out the window. But I think like you are telling a story through the camera, and you have to use that a lot more. And I appreciate they're trying to do that. Yeah. And I think, maybe like the final scene, like I maybe prefer in the game that we just leave Tess and you don't get to see what happens to her, and there's that pain and loss that follows that. I think maybe I prefer that, But I think it was just like the build up to it I quite liked.
Yeah, I guess I don't have that context, so I haven't watched it, so...
Yeah, it could just be like in the context of the show, it does more for me. I think I never really gave a shit about Tess in the game. It was more I cared that Joel cared, and like that Ellie was going through something, and like then it was pushing them on. Like it was this. And
because Tess was pretty badass, so it's sort of like, you know, I like Tess for that reason, because she's cool.
But it never made me feel that sad every time I've replayed it. But I did feel like, you know, I didn't cry, but like I felt something when Tess was dying in the show. Like I felt like she genuinely was terrified to die, and like she was trying to do the right thing in the last moment, and like wanted to correct all the past wrongs that her and Joel had done. There was something there for me. It just worked quite well.
It's pretty beautiful, to be fair. I always forget that Tess was also a pretty fucking bad person as well, alongside Joel. So that moment where she decides for Joel what he's gonna do is like her sort of trying to repent for the stuff she's done in her life during the apocalypse, which is cool. Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah, and it's this moment that sends Joel on this journey that eventually gives him something to care for again, and like that's sort of Joel's redemption in a way.
Until he gets a fucking golf stick in the head.
Yeah, well, I mean, until he massacres a hospital.
Well, I mean, he did have it coming, to be fair, let's be honest.
Fucking crazy man. Yeah. But, you know, that's the complexity that comes with The Last of Us. There's no black and white, and I think that... I think episode 2 was better than episode 1 in a lot of ways. I still don't think it's a masterpiece of a show or anything.
No.
But if they keep improving and keep building and they keep doing this, maybe by the end of the show I'll be like, no, that was really good, and I enjoyed it a lot.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do the giraffe scene.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I wonder if they'll use a giraffe or if they'll change it.
They'll probably change it
like
to like a zebra or something to do some fucking symbolism for The Last of Us 2. They'll be like, oh my god, it's like Abby's dad. Oh my god. I hope they don't do part 2.
It's like Abby's dad.
I hope they don't do part 2 like too soon. Like, they need to leave it a few years, surely, so like the actors sort of look a bit older.
Maybe. I mean, it's been renewed already for season 2, and Neil has said it's they're doing season 2 is going to be the story of part 2. So,
well,
and
I mean,
HBO
I guess
are going
they
to want
can
that
do it. Yeah, I mean, I
as
guess
soon as possible.
I guess they can do a time. I mean, it's not as if Bella Ramsey is actually a child. Like, she's like 19, so
yeah, she's 19.
They could easily make her look like. I mean, she's the same age that Ellie is in the game, isn't she? Isn't Ellie like 19? Yeah. So I'm sure they could make Pedro Pascal look a bit older. You know, give him some makeup or something.
Yeah. Just give him a bit longer hair, longer beard.
To be fair, I'd be really interested to see Abby in the show. I think because I really like Abby as a character, so it'd be cool to see her translated into the show, because I think her side of the story is way better than Ellie's.
The thing that I'm interested in is The Last of Us Part 1 is a lot easier to adapt to television, whereas Part 2 relies, for me at least, so heavily on the player being in control.
Yeah,
like it falls back on it again and again and again. Like for so many moments to hit, like Ellie killing Nora, Ellie killing the dog. You got Ellie doing what she did, everything she did in that in the marina or whatever. Like, you need to be in control for those moments to hit properly. Yeah. And I don't know whether you can do that if you're just a passive observer.
Yeah,
whether that's going to hit audiences the same way that it did. Just by watching it, like, are you gonna feel for Abby the same way if you're just watching it happen, as opposed to like actually taking control of this character for 10 to 15 hours?
I feel like Ellie's side of the story does lean more into the gameplay, sort of you being the one controlling her, whereas I think Abby's story can be translated pretty well into a TV show, I think.
I think it could be translated in the same way The Last of Us 1 can, but I still think it loses that aspect of, like, I love Abby because I was her.
Yeah,
that
is true. That is true. Whereas,
and so, like,
that's true.
You had to invest yourself.
You had to look after her
if
you wanted to like continue into the story. Like, you had to protect Abby, or otherwise you would die and you wouldn't be able to see any more of the story.
Yeah, whereas, and it like made you give a shit about Lev.
Yeah.
You had that relationship there, and it just kind of like if you're just sitting watching, is an audience member that's only watched the show gonna come out the end of that and be like, no, I really like Abby, or they're like, no, she still killed Joel, like, she sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
that's the thing.
are you gonna still have that?
It's gonna cause another polarizing moment in a completely different medium, I think, for part 2, because people that don't know what happens in the game are gonna watch the beginning of the season 2 and be like, what? I'm not watching this shit. This is fucking shit. And it's gonna have the same arguments over and over again that we fucking had in the game.
Look, I think that TV audiences, and no offense to anybody, I think TV audiences are just slightly less brain dead than game audiences are.
Slightly less brain dead, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, because you look at, like, you know, look at The Walking Dead. What about when Glenn dies? That's a very similar moment to when Joel dies.
Yeah.
People weren't mad like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed Glenn. Well, I mean, some people probably were.
Well, yeah, I mean, people were like, I hate Negan, but it was like, Negan was a villain.
But it was good, right? It was good. Like, maybe people wouldn't have felt that same way if he killed Rick or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Glenn was also a fan favorite character.
He was.
And they killed him out of nowhere. And, like, I have my issues with The Walking Dead's writing, but that moment is a moment that happened, and TV audiences liked it. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, I'm on board with this. I'm down for this story. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And so I feel like TV audiences will accept Joel's death way more than video game audiences.
Yeah, probably.
And I think because, as well, by adapting it to television, you're observing this story in a way where you're not directly involved in it. So I think there's, by definition, less direct investment in the character journey.
Yeah, like, you're not playing as Joel. You're not him. You're not looking after Ellie every step of the way and, you know, stealthing around clickers and stuff. Like, you're just watching him do it. So, it's, again, it's...
You're just watching it, and, like, you can enjoy it, but, like, when you watch something, you're, like, along for the ride. And whatever that ride is, as long as it's good, you're going to be along for it.
Yeah.
Whereas in a game, people just wanted to... like hang around with Joel and Ellie more, which is not something you do in a show.
No.
Like you're watching events play out pretty fast paced, whereas in a game you can just wander around a record store.
Yeah,
like,
there's so
having
much
a
downtime.
conversation and like
Yeah.
with that downtime breeds this investment for character in a way that you just don't get in other mediums.
Yeah, that is true.
And so, you know, I feel like people will take to Part 2 better because they won't have that. I mean, first of all, they won't have a leak that comes out a year before that says Abby is trans and there's a evil Christian cult or whatever.
Yeah, and that I mean, as soon as they fucking started saying Abby was trans, people immediately hated the concept of it, which I think shows people's opinions on trans people.
Crazy.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like, even if a leak comes out and says she is trans, that shouldn't mean game bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
But obviously, you know,
it's like people that bring up Lev being trans as a reason as to why the game's terrible and it's woke and it's a shit story and Cuckman can't write for shit.
Well, Neil Cuckman just forced a forest into the game. So he didn't want to write a good story. He had to force in his agenda.
He forced in this fucking forest. You know how I feel about forests, mate, honestly, running through forests. Oh god, man!
It's ridiculous, some of the discourse around it. Like,
it's the classic video game fucking community. It's just there's so many transphobes and racists and terrible people in the video game community that just have these awful takes and just hate people so much.
Yeah, it's this take that, I mean, we used to believe it too, but it's this take of like, oh, if there is diversity in a thing, that's their priority, therefore the writing will be bad.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense, because if somebody wants to write a story about a black, lesbian, disabled, trans woman or something, then that has no bearing on the quality of the script.
No.
Like, if they want to tell that story, the best writer in the world could write that. Like, if somebody wanted to tell a story about this diverse cast and it ends up being bad, that movie would not be better if all the characters were white and straight.
No,
it would not be better. It would be just as bad, probably worse, because it's not what the person wanted to write.
Yeah.
So it's like, if someone wants to write this story about this diverse, you know, cast of characters, whether it be sexuality, whether it be gender identity, whether it be race, let them do it, because if they're a good writer, they'll write a good show, they'll write a good movie, they'll write a good game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with that. And
that's, you know, that's what it comes down to. But people just have this weird idea that if diversity is in it, it's forced.
It's immediately bad.
Which is
which
is crazy.
I'm sure we had many conversations about this on old Horsey and Fox streams, like just being like,
oh yeah,
can't believe it. This forced diversity just to fill a quota. I can't fucking believe it.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm fine with diversity, but not when it's at the expense of writing quality.
Yeah, and it's like,
what does that mean?
Who said that it was, bro? Who said that it was in this instance? Why is that just an immediate fact
God.
that as soon as you have like a black protagonist or like something like that, that immediately means the writing is going to be terrible, of course, because the writers are just focusing on the blackness of that character. Oh god!
Exactly, and how many bad media products are there that are the protagonists are white? There's so many bad ones as well.
Countless.
Like, but no one chalks that up to, oh, well, they only had white people, that means it must be, that's why it's bad. Like, it's just bad because the writer's bad.
It's just awful. Yeah. What is wrong with people? I can't believe I used to think that as well, though, to be fair. That like forced diversity would make a movie so terrible, or like a piece of media so terrible that that's the main contributing factor to it being bad. Like, I can't actually remember why I thought that.
It makes no sense. Like, you look at, like, if someone wants to write a story about something, then they just need to be a good writer. Like, you look at Russell T Davies, like, his show, like, It's a Sin, is a brilliant show about the AIDS crisis in the 80s
you've told me about
this. And it's incredible. It's so good. And he didn't set out to just write a good show. He set out to write a good show about gay people, like, specifically to do that.
Yeah.
And he does it incredibly because he's a fucking phenomenal writer.
Yeah.
Like, that forced diversity didn't ruin the show. It made it better because that was what he wanted. That's the story he wanted to tell.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a great show. I think everybody should watch.
Big up RTD.
Absolutely incredible. It's not that many episodes long. It is easily the best thing RTD has ever written. It's just
better than Doctor Who.
Just like Doctor Who is my favorite thing he's done, but like in terms of just like pure, just oh my goodness, the amount of times I cried during It's a Sin just fucking killed me. That show, it's phenomenal. I would love to watch it again. Honestly,
where can you watch it?
So good. I know it's on BritBox, but it might also be on iPlayer as well.
BritBox? Oh, I got iPlayer. That's free.
It might be on Disney Plus actually.
Ooh, so that's more up my alley. I have Disney Plus.
I think it could be. I think that's a thing because, like, I guess his company partnered with Disney for Doctor Who, and
I'll be surprised though. Disney hates gay people.
It is on Disney Plus. There it is.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It's a sin.
I fucking people at fucking Disney parks who play those characters are not allowed to mention the LGBT, otherwise they get fucking fired or whatever. Damn,
That is crazy.
Disney's for once on the side of the gays.
Yeah.
GG.
It's a really quality show. I recommend everybody watch it. It's very, very good. Just phenomenal.
And of course, written from the perspective of a gay man as well, who knows the experience of being gay.
Yeah, a gay man that lived through that era too.
That's true. That is crazy. Yeah,
where so many awful things happened. So many people died, but it was brushed under the rug by the media and by straight people, and it was
gay people were villainized for just immediately having AIDS if you were gay as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, oh no, only gay people can get it. Like,
it's insane.
That's how it works, or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's born of being gay. Like, yeah,
fucking hell.
It's crazy. Like, it does. Like, the show, it invests you emotionally in it, but it also educates you too on what things were like.
Yeah.
And also, like, suggests the idea that we can still always be doing better for these minority groups.
For sure. Yeah. Even though we've come a long way since then, there's still plenty of progress to be made.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a brilliant show, tremendous show. RTD is one of the best writers, probably the best writer we have in Britain, I would say.
He's a good man, to be fair.
Incredible. He is, incredible.
He's great.
And he's back on Doctor Who.
Oh, mate.
He's gonna smash it.
I can't wait. He's back on Doctor Who. Oh my god.
It's great. He's already like, it's crazy talking about Doctor Who, like the stuff that he has done in the past, few months since Chibnall's era ended. Like, he has done more marketing for his era in that small period of time than the last 5 years for the whole of Chibnall Who. Like, it feels like when we were kids and Doctor Who was talked about. Like, I'm seeing he's always on talk shows. It's on the news. Like, you got him, like, the One Show or whatever.
Oh,
like,
mate, you love
it's
it.
just like, Doctor Who is just everywhere again. And it's like, not just Doctor Who, but it's Russell, David Tennant, Catherine Tate.
Yeah, it's
insane.
For now. It's insane.
And then you've got, Shooty Gatwa coming up and everything, and
I'm excited
seeing like set pictures online, and it's gonna be
and that big slug.
It's so exciting.
Big slug monster
the big
thing.
slug.
I love that thing.
And it's gonna be great. Like Russell's already said, we're getting 3 specials towards the end of the year for the 60th, and then he's bringing back Christmas specials.
Oh yeah, boy.
Shooty's gonna have his first episode this Christmas.
Oh shit! Is his first episode gonna be a Christmas special? That's insane.
Yeah. Which is going to be sick. So it's very exciting. I'm sure on this podcast we will talk about Doctor Who when
definitely
Doctor Who is out for the 60th.
I have missed. I'm going to rewatch Doctor Who. I think this year at some point, from all the way from Christopher Eccleston to the end.
Shit.
Oh, should I watch Jodie's run? Oh, maybe I will. Just to experience it. How many seasons is it?
3.
That's not too bad.
And then also there was a couple of specials. What they did. I think there was 3 specials.
Are they like
They did. So there was series 11, 12, and then Flux.
Oh god, Flux.
And then there was a series of specials. They did Eve of the Daleks, Legend of the Sea Devils, and then Power of the Doctor.
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Maybe if I get to the end of Peter Capaldi, and I feel like I can watch. Not like I need to watch it, because I'll never feel like I need to watch Jodie Whittaker's run. But like, if I feel like I can watch it, then I will, just to get the context. I mean, I hope that Shooty's run sort of is like almost like a soft reboot in a way, where it's like, we don't talk about Jodie.
No, I don't think they will. I think they're going to move on. I think they're just going to ignore it, move on, because, you know, there's so many little, like, retconny weird things that Chibnall did, where it's like,
the Timeless Child.
That. You know, when like the Timeless Child. I mean, when RTD brought Doctor Who back in 2005, he pretty much ignored the TV movie, which canonized the Doctor as being half human.
Fuck
and,
that.
And RTD was like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
He's not. He is a Time Lord, and that's what he is.
Yeah, half human. Some American wrote that.
Exactly. That fucking American. I mean, Jim Carrey was supposed to play the Doctor, or they wanted him for the Doctor in that movie.
Paul McGann is such a
Thank God they got Paul McGann.
Oh, Paul McGann is great. I would love to see him again.
Best part of that movie.
Isn't he in like audiobooks?
He's done loads of audio books, or audio dramas.
I've heard clips of him, and I really like him as the Doctor. I think he's done a brilliant job.
Plenty. Obviously, he was also in what was it, Night of the Doctor in 2013?
Yeah,
for the 50th anniversary.
That small section where he becomes the War Doctor. Yeah.
That's
fucking
He's
sick.
in that, and then he also appeared with a cameo in Power of the Doctor, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
Along with a bunch of other cameos, because that whole episode was just fan wank.
But
some of it was fun, you know. I won't pretend I didn't cry when Ian Chesterton showed up.
Who's that?
Did.
Who's Ian Chesterton?
He was one of the Doctor's first companions with Barbara, Ian, and
that's cool.
Susan.
That's really cool.
And because recently, obviously, I've watched through all the classic Who as well. Well, not all of it. I'm on season 7, but
season 7. Watched through. Fucking hell.
Yeah, there's 26 of them, so I'm not even halfway.
I'll never watch through classic Who. I just can't be bothered.
Nah, you don't have to. But I'm doing it. I don't know. I like it. It's fun. I've watched through all of the first Doctor, all of the second Doctor, so it was nice seeing Ian show up in Power of the Doctor, because it was like, oh, I know him. I've seen all of his episodes, and I really liked him. I thought he was really, really good. Like, I think so far the strongest seasons of Classic Who that I've seen are probably season 1 and 2, and then season 6 was really good as well.
Well, mate, just wait till you get to Tom Baker, alright? He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, well, it's coming up. I'm currently on Pertwee, and it's quite cool. I like it.
He can do Kung Fu.
But yeah, well, he hasn't done any yet, but he can. I do remember that. I remember watching it on BBC 3 or BBC Gold or whatever it was.
I'll be interested to hear what Tom Baker's run is like, to be fair, because people say that he is like up there with like
the best,
Tennant, like they're like the 2 best or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, when anyone says, you know, the Doctor or Doctor Who, usually you're gonna think about Tom Baker or David Tennant. Those are like the 2 faces of the show.
For sure, yeah.
So yeah, but that's, you know, gonna be exciting for Doctor Who end of this year. But
I hope Matt Smith comes back for the 60th, man.
I would like to see him too. I mean, they've talked about there's more going on that we haven't seen, because obviously we've seen bits of filming, and the trailer that came out only shows the things we've seen filmed in public. Yeah. So I think they're hiding a lot that we haven't seen. And I would like to see, you know, other stuff, that it's not just David Tennant and Catherine Tate, that it's, you know, other eras get represented too.
It would be so cool. But if not, I'm
nice
also fine with just Tennant, and it would be nice to see Matt Smith. Like, I would love to see him as the Doctor again, like with the bow tie and the fucking tweed jacket. Like, come on.
It'd be so cool. Like, he's not been the Doctor for 10 years now.
Exactly.
So that's crazy that it's been 10 years since
the 50th. Since fucking hell.
Since
oh
the 50th,
my god.
Since we got, you know, the Christmas special where he regenerated and everything. That's insane.
Oh my god, yeah. 10 years? What?
It's wild. Yeah, I mean, end of this year, it'll be 6 years since Peter Capaldi regenerated.
Oh, man. What?
Which is... It's weird. Yeah. It's weird, because that feels like modern, like, really modern.
It does. But I guess, like, I didn't watch Chibnall's and Jodie's run of Doctor Who, so it feels like Peter Capaldi was so recent. Because I've not had any like frame of reference as to how long Jodie's actually been playing the character, or actually was playing the character before, because I guess she's regenerated now. Yeah. But yeah, it's insane. 6 years since Capaldi. Fucking hell.
It's wild, and it's just, it's crazy to think how long Doctor Who's been going since the revival. It's almost 20 years.
God damn. I'd love to see Eccleston come back as well. I'd love that.
That would be great. I would love to see him. Although, love to.
He definitely hasn't aged that great.
He hasn't.
Compared to like Tennant, who looks exactly the same and just hasn't changed.
Yeah. Tennant has aged very well.
He has, yeah.
Do you know what's crazy? Is there's a fun factoid that
I love a fun
Tennant
factoid.
now is the same age that William Hartnell was when he started as the Doctor.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy.
William Hartnell looks like an elderly man.
I know. It's mental.
David Tennant actually is the Doctor, though. That's the thing. That's something that we don't actually. It's not something that's let out to the public, but he is the
true.
Doctor. That's why he doesn't age.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Well, technically, the Doctor does age, doesn't he? Because when the Master does the weird shit with the screwdriver and turns Tennant into a weird little big-headed alien thing.
Yeah, he does age. Just
very
slowly. He ages slowly.
Very,
you
very
got
slowly.
what was it? How long was the Doctor on Trenzalore?
Oh, it was a long while, wasn't it?
Like 500, 1,000 years or something.
Yeah, fucking Jesus. Yeah.
Because he's like really old in the end. Like that's how 11 regenerates. It's just by old age.
And then he goes, "Oh my god,
too old.
The crack gives me more regenerations, yeah, boy." Great ending.
Oh,
great writing. Moffat can fuck off, to be honest. I watched H Bomber Guy's video on Sherlock, and it ruined it for me.
Yes, what a video!
It's a great video though, because I mean, it just shows how shit Sherlock is. It's fucking shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I was tricked. I was fooled,
duped by Benedict Cumberbatch's cool performance into fucking thinking that it was a great show. Actually, he's actually shit television. It's really bad.
Mental. It goes to show how far a good performance can really go in selling poor writing.
Yeah, and I liked Watson as well. Obviously, he was still shit in that show, but I like Martin Freeman, so I guess that's what made me like Watson.
Yeah,
God, it's terrible.
Exactly,
it's terrible.
It's a weird one, but that's gonna be fun.
Definitely,
we'll talk Doctor Who.
Oh, for sure.
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it for current events. I think. What have we got for recommended? What videos have you got?
All right, I got 2 videos. I don't remember what the second one is because I was
Sweet.
proper rushing to find it.
Okay. I'm sure they'll be great, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, okay, I do remember it. It is for anyone that is new to the podcast and hadn't listened to the Four Pillars podcast before this. Doubt there's many of you, to be honest, at this current point, but George's Recommended is where I go to my main channel because I don't watch content on my main channel ever. I have a separate content that has YouTube Premium and whatnot, and I use that to watch videos on. So that's got a more normal recommended of videos that I watch regularly. But my main channel's Recommended is full of lots of fucking mental shit. So I go through every time we have a podcast and I pick a few videos out and we watch them. And we're gonna do the same today. It's transcending the Four Pillars. The Four Pillars podcast, and now it's on the Horsey and Fox podcast. So let me go to Discord real quick, and I'll find our direct messages, and I shall paste them. We only have 2 today because I didn't actually realise we were doing Recommended, and I was looking for them literally 5 minutes before this podcast started. So
yeah, look, next time I'll be prepared.
I will be very prepared.
I mean, to be fair, since these podcasts are even longer, we could only 2 or 3,
Yeah, I'll probably keep it around
2 or 3 videos,
and then that amount,
and then we're good
for sure.
Then we're good because we got plenty to talk about. We've also got Patreon topics, which we have a few of, but we'll get to that. Right, tee us up. What we got?
Number 1 is actually a pretty cool video. Oh, I'm tired apparently. From NASA Johnson. It's life on station. It's just clips of people living in the I don't know if it's the International Space Station or just a space station, I don't know, but it's really cool watching them float about in zero gravity and shit. So let's fucking watch this shit right now.
Okay, yep, got it already. Count us in.
I will when my computer loads. Fucking hell, it's so shit. This computer's terrible.
The classic Facebook Marketplace PC.
It is, yeah. They cost me £200 or something, like 150. Right, okay, I'm ready. Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, play. Here we go. Time for some cool content. Yeah, this intro's taking fucking ages. Jesus.
Yeah, blind. Oh, here we go.
It up to the ends.
Look how cool this is. It's like someone shampooing their hair. That's how they wash their hair in space.
And I like
how
to
insane
take my
is
towel while
that?
I have the shampoo in there and just kind of.
That's crazy.
I can imagine living in zero
without
gravity.
standing under running water, you kind of need to use the towel a little bit to help get some of the dirt out.
I imagine what it would be like to live in that. Oh my god, the little
sweat particles, whatever that was, water.
The little water, yeah.
It's insane. This dude's just chilling.
Wait, if you. Oh, I thought he was shaving his head. Wait, is he?
I don't know what he was doing there. This is what they sleep in, these little things. They have to zip up. So
That must be such a weird experience.
I know. Sleeping in zero gravity.
you wake up and you're like, oh,
I'm floating still.
I'm floating.
It's like the kind of food they eat.
And some strawberries with a little bit of milk on top.
It looks great. Looks absolutely delicious.
I wonder what it must be like adapting to coming back to Earth.
It must be horrible. It must be kind of nice though in a way to get back to Earth and have that normality.
Yeah.
The food they eat looks absolutely gnarly though.
Oh my god, it's just floating.
So cool. I read a comment on this video and it was like, because in space they can so often just like, if they're holding something they need to put it down, they can just literally just let go of it and it just stays there and floats. Imagine they get back to Earth and they just drop shit. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're so used to just being able to like hold shit and just let go of it in the air, and then you do it on Earth and it's just, you break everything.
Yeah, this one's really cool, like squirting honey out of like a little thing. Don't know why he's putting it in a tortilla.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. That seems a bit weird.
Like, it's just so sci-fi. It's actually mental.
It is weird that this exists and like these people are just like orbiting the planet and stuff.
And they're just doing this
space
shit.
Stations.
Like, it's insane. They shouldn't be up there. They got out of bounds, man.
That is wild.
Just like chilling. You got your laptop floating in front of you.
So many wires and cables everywhere.
Yeah. I wonder what it all does.
Yeah, it is fucking nice.
Because I don't fucking
oh my god,
know.
look at it.
It's flying.
It's like a mess to look at.
Honestly. It looks so cool though. It looks so sci-fi.
That's so crazy. I want to go fucking space.
It would be really... I imagine it would be fucking so taxing on your body though.
Yeah, it probably would. It probably would.
Like, I watched a video earlier and it's like, apparently when you go up into space you feel sick and most people have to throw up. And obviously, if you throw up in space, it's going to fly all around, so you have to get these like special bags and put it in them.
Oh my god, yeah. That'd suck.
Look at that, like, what's that smoke shit coming out? Like, what is that? It looks like some fucking sci-fi shit once again.
Yeah, like he's putting this little container in the wall there, or the floor, I don't know.
It's so sick. Little keyboard, you could do some gaming.
It is crazy that we are able to go into space.
It is. It is mental. The fact that we have this
Let's just like be there.
technology and we can like have these small enclosed spaces with oxygen in it and stuff like that. Like what the hell?
It honestly is crazy that you can make like this thing and it's airtight, like so that it's not going to suck all the air out and suffocate. Yeah.
Like how do you do that?
How do you make sure it's perfect?
Yeah.
And it's not like one little crack somewhere that's going to like kill everybody.
Yeah, it's
when you send it into space.
It's so impressive. What's there? What's in there?
Fuck is this?
I don't know what's in there. It's like foggy.
What is that?
What is that?
It literally looks like he's going into like a fucking... he's playing Dead Space.
Yeah.
Where is this guy going?
He's just going down into the... Is that like storage? I don't know.
I guess so.
That dude had a smile on his face just there while he was flying. Look how cool this is. It looks so fun.
What do they even do up here?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to figure out. There's like simulated gravity there. It's just like dragging them down.
Wow, that's interesting.
So obviously you've got to work out and shit to be able to keep your muscle mass, otherwise it will just completely go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you're just floating around and you're not even walking,
yeah,
you're gonna
lose all that muscle. So that when you get back to Earth, like the gravity is gonna fucking do you in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just insane. Like imagine just living here. Like it just doesn't seem like plausible.
This guy's like running on the wall.
Yeah, like that video. Like, there's a whole channel dedicated to like these people and they're documenting their experience in space and stuff. And every now and then it comes up in my recommended, and it's just so fucking interesting, man.
That was cool. I liked that.
It's insane.
I liked that a lot. That's very interesting.
All right, next one is stunning. Siphonophore. I don't know what the fuck this even is. It's another deep sea creature that just looks mental. I didn't know existed, which is part of the course if you watch the Four Pillars Network.
Yeah, true.
There was lots of deep sea stuff in that, and this is from Evie Nautilus as well. That same channel.
Oh yes, classic, classic.
I like these guys. All right,
okay. I'm good to go.
Cool. 3, 2, 1, play. We're even not alert.
Oh, it's the classic intro.
I love them. Love these guys.
My favourite channel.
But this fucking creature they find is so weird looking. Like I've never seen anything like it before. I didn't know anything like it existed.
Is that it? On
Right
the
there.
Right? Uh-oh. This
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, the blue thing.
Fuck is that?
Like a siphonophore?
A siphonophore.
Yeah. How the fuck did
I
they...
love how she just knew that.
Yeah,
She's like,
it's
oh, that's like
insane.
some kind of siphonophore. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Is that what it
looks
is?
exactly like a siphonophore to me. Like, what is that?
What is that thing?
Looks like a fucking Covenant alien.
Wow.
It does. It looks
Okay,
like it
that's
could be
awesome.
one of the engineers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking Virgil.
That's a living thing.
Yeah, neither can I.
It's different from the latter.
That is crazy.
So, for those of you viewing, we think this might be a siphonophore.
That's the fucked up thing about the ocean.
I'm taking like
They
crazy
don't. This is the
pictures
shit they
right
don't
now.
tell you about.
How did this thing evolve to exist?
I don't know.
What caused this?
It's like it fucking crashed down from an alien planet.
I
Honestly.
bet you that thing would sting
It's crazy.
bad if you would. Sting? Uh-huh.
Sting.
They have
Yeah.
stingers.
Maybe they do. Yeah, I guess that's what that is.
So the siphonophores, if this is what we're
wanna
seeing,
touch it.
is
I want to
an-
eat it.
Do you have any estimation?
Maybe about 20 wiffle balls.
What does that mean? What does 20 wiffle balls mean? What the fuck is this guy on about?
Is it supposed to look like? Or is it hurt? No, I think it's
How
full life.
insane that is.
Whoa.
The fuck
It's
is
like
it?
it's like a weird alien underwater peacock.
Yeah, and it's got huge
Yeah, I thought it was like
feathers
asteroid or
almost.
something.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Look at that shit
Usually,
drifting about in the ocean.
The best known of these
Yo, the close-up of
siphonophores
that is
are the-
insane.
is a
What does it
Portuguese
do
man of
all
war, and
day?
that's actually much
It's fucking
longer than
vibes,
whatever
I
we're
guess.
seeing right now.
Drifts
So,
about.
Oh, the Portuguese man, some of them are not that big.
Okay.
How is that even living? Like, what is it?
So
What's
I
its
can read you
goal?
I'm sure you know the description
Just
of the siphonophore.
floating
but
around,
for
just
the
loving
viewers, It's an
seems
order of
to
the
be.
Hydrozoa, which is a class of marine animals belonging to the phylum Cnidaria.
It's just insane.
And
Like,
although a
the stuff in the
siphonophore
ocean, man.
appears
That's
to be a single
Subnautica
organism,
shit
each
right there.
specimen is actually
It's like
a
all this
colony
little,
composed
like,
of many individual
Bits are like
animals.
moving or
Most
whatever's
colonies
going
are
on there. I don't know
long,
what it's
thin,
doing.
transparent, pelagic
Honestly.
floaters, and some
like those like
siphonophores,
feather-like
superficial
things on its underside are just insane. Like, I don't know what that is. That's a
That
great.
was.
I love a siphonophore. We love them.
Yeah, it's my new favorite animal actually.
I like them. They're
Top
cool.
5 animals.
They're cool guys.
Number 1, siphonophore.
I ran into one at the pub the other day, and he was a good lad. He brought me
I
around.
do like them. Yeah, they are. They're good. They're good men.
Yeah.
Good men. I love a siphonophore.
God. There we go. That's the
that was
taster of George's
That was
Recommended.
good. Yeah.
For the
We'll
episode
have,
1.
we'll have some interesting ones next time, I'm sure. So that'll be
Oh,
fun.
definitely.
But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
boy.
final segment of the show. Patreon topics. If you're pledging to the Lasers Patreon, I do have a section which allows you to submit topics for both Jazz Lounge and Horsey and Fox podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is interesting, right? Because I made it so that I was like, I don't want to put this on the lowest tier because we're going to get too many topics. I was like, I'm going to put it on a higher tier, so anyone who is willing to pledge to the higher tier will pledge to it. Maybe we'll get 2 or 3
Yeah.
topics an episode. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want like 6, 7 topics. It's just too
Oh,
many.
God, yeah. Fucking
Now,
hell.
I have miscalculated the amount of people that would want this because we have 9 topics.
Fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
There's one that I am definitely not going to read.
Okay.
Now, the reason for this is because, one, you and anyone listening that wasn't on Clubhouse will have no context.
Okay.
Won't understand because it's like an
I don't
update to
understand the
Clubhouse
law.
topic.
Yeah.
And second of all, I just don't think it's hugely appropriate
Oh God. Oh God.
for a public show.
Oh my
if
God.
anybody wants
Okay.
to know what I'm talking about, it's an update on James and also Earl Jones' topic from the last episode of Clubhouse, the finale, which you can get access to for just $1 over on my Patreon. If you want to listen to the backlog of Clubhouses,
For sure.
you can get an update on what I'm talking about. But I just don't think I'm going to read this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it. And if you want to submit an update, James also Earl Jones, when me and Tyler eventually come back and do a Clubhouse down the line, feel free feel free to do it then. But I'm going to leave it off this because I just think it's too much for this show.
For something that just could be consumed by the masses.
Exactly.
By the general public.
Yeah, I just don't think it's right.
Okay.
Not even just for you, and not even just for me, but for the person you're talking about in the topic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair.
Oh God.
So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna start with topic number 1, which comes from Eli, who says, "Hey boys, super excited for the relaunch and what's to come. I've just got a question for the both of you. I'm interested in hearing your responses. If you had unlimited resources and nothing to hold back from finishing it, what would be your dream game to create? Thanks, lads. Have a good one."
Fucking
Eli.
hell.
What do you think? I mean, you don't have to go into detail. Vaguely. Is there a thing you would want to make?
Yes, I would love to make a game where you play as a hooded man in the crowd with the blade. No, sorry, that was so awful. I don't know. I guess like something similar to what the original like vision of something like No Man's Sky, or like Elite Dangerous, something like that would be, where it is like a procedurally generated universe. But if I had unlimited time and unlimited resources, I could make it the most detailed little universe ever. Or maybe not even procedurally generated, like it is just a universe like within a game, and you can go to these planets and like do crazy shit, and you know, make your own ship, and like have a job as you could be like a merchant if you wanted to, or like you could be like a pirate, or like a bounty hunter or something crazy like that. But it'd actually be good and not be like, yeah, we're gonna overpromise all this shit and then not actually do it. Like it would be the actual concept of like that sci-fi sort of exploration. I think that'd be sick.
Makes sense, right? Especially with the limited resources.
Yeah.
You'd be able to
you could do all sorts of shit. Yeah.
I think for me, something that I like, I like, even though I would have unlimited resources, I think I would still want to make like a smaller sort of finite focus game. Something that I think is just totally underutilized in video games in general and in media is King Arthur as a subject to use.
That's true, to be fair.
And I think you could create such a good video game around King Arthur, whether it's an RPG or whether it's not. Maybe go down the route of like it being a bit more like a Red Dead Redemption 2 sort of game, like very immersive, grounded experience. It's exploring that myth and the myths surrounding it and all of the characters, you know, like
that would be cool.
Lancelot and
the boy
Merlin and the Lady of the Lake and all that stuff. I think that'd be cool, and like you could really realize Camelot and like the surrounding areas and things like that.
That is true. That would be really cool. Would you get Excalibur? Really, would you be playing as King Arthur?
I think you play as King Arthur, but I think it would be a bit of a different take, where it's not just a very simple journey of like, oh, King Arthur learns he's special and then pulls Excalibur out and then wins.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit more of like a winding journey.
Yeah.
Almost like maybe you don't even know you're King Arthur until the end of the game.
Or
something.
I
see. There's a reveal moment where you realize or something you're King Arthur or something, and it's like, oh, that's what we're doing here.
That's why I've got Excalibur. I see.
Yeah, now it all makes sense now. That's why Merlin is helping me. That makes sense.
That's why the Knights of the Round Table are like serving me.
Yeah,
no, that would be cool.
Maybe I would do like they'd have different names, and like you wouldn't know that Merlin.
I see. And, like, yeah. It's like they represent those characters.
Yeah, it'd almost be like like it would take place almost before, and then it would sort of merge it, like everything would be revealed and you'd realize everything, and then it would all come together in like, you know, this reveal moment.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Makes sense or something.
That'd be really cool for sure.
That's probably what I'd do.
Yeah, nice. There's some good answers right there.
There you go, Eli.
Thanks, Eli.
Next up, we got a topic here from Arenathon, who I believe at the end of the topic tells us his real name, and says to use that instead.
And he doxes himself.
We'll go. Then he tells us his address and so that's fine. He says, congratulations on the new podcast and thanks for all the great content. I was just looking for some advice. I graduated last year with a degree in biology with not much of an idea of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But after a few months of working in a lab, it's clear to me that I do not want to do anything medical or like what I'm doing now long term.
Okay.
I think about going back to school, and after a lot of thought, the thing that strikes me to the most would be to get my master's degree in geology with an emphasis on paleontology. The idea seems great to me, but the issue is that I'd have to move across the entire United States to go to a school that offers a program like this. I guess my question is more of, how do I deal with moving hours and hours away from my family and friends? I'm not great at making friends to start with, so I'd essentially be alone and new in everything. Thanks, and P.S. It's okay, nobody ever says Arenathon right. You can just call me Clem if you ever remember.
Thanks, Clem.
Alright, we'll call you
Like
Clem.
Clementine from the Walking Dead games.
Yes, that's exactly who has left this comment as well.
You seem like, to be honest, it seems like... Does Clem as in, like, Clem a girl? Woman?
Clem, I think it's... I couldn't tell you, I really don't know. I think it's a guy.
You seem like you got a bigger brain than me. I don't know why you're asking me for my opinion on whether or not you should study paleontology. You're already working in a fucking lab, you absolute madman. That's a pretty insane accomplishment.
Well, I think he knows what he wants to do. I think he's asking,
Yeah.
how is he going to deal with that, like that process of moving so far away?
I don't
Obviously,
fucking
US
know.
is big, so
I've lived in this one house my entire life. I reckon it could be probably good for you. You know, a lot of people say that. I mean, there's obviously that romanticized idea of moving somewhere on your own, and there's a lot of things you have to deal with moving somewhere else that you've never been to before, and you have no connections there. Like making friends, that's something you have to actively do. You can't just be on your own the whole time.
and you're gonna have to, because if you don't, you're gonna be lonely and you're gonna be miserable.
But
and you're gonna be like, this wasn't worth it.
You also have to learn to be okay with being on your own for a while, though,
True.
and just experiencing living in that new place on your own, because you won't be able to survive if you can't be on your own in a completely new place, because you're not just going to immediately spawn with friends. Like, you're going to have to. It's going to be a gradual process. I think if it's something that you think you can do and it's something you think you can overcome, it could probably be very, very, very good for you. It could broaden your horizons quite a lot, and it could prove to you that, you know, I can move fucking halfway across the country, and I can do these crazy things and study fucking paleontology. Oh my god, that's insane.
For sure.
If it sounds like you want to do it, it sounds like you're not happy working where you are currently, and that can lead to all sorts of issues down the line with, you know, being in a career for so long that you don't want to even be in, and you don't have the time to go back and study something you would wish you would have. So maybe you should just go for it, man, or woman. Sorry. Or neither.
Yeah, we don't know. To be fair, we have no clue. But no, I completely agree. I think you know what you want to do. You know what you want to go for. You know what you would prefer to be doing. It's just you've got to make that push to do it. And I think, like George said, you know, you've got to be all right with the fact that you are probably going to be on your own for a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've also got to then make that push to try and make friends, whether it's with, you know, people that are studying the same thing as you, you know, or whether it's, you know,
at least
like
you've
Tyler
got that.
would always say, you go off, you find a hobby, you learn a language, you learn an instrument. Hey man, you go
to the gym, you go to bloody fucking judo, mate. You go and learn fucking Muay Thai. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You know, you go learn a skill, man.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, he's right though. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, he is right. Yeah, he is right. Exactly. That's why I'm saying it.
That's the ghost
those
of
are the things,
Tyler.
like you go and you know, if you want to make friends in a new place, the best thing you can do is you look at like what's around, what's something that you're interested in. Go and do that thing. You know, go to some sort of thing that's gonna, you know, you're gonna be able to learn a skill, and at the same time, you're gonna make friends with people that are into the same thing that you're into. Which is a perfectly good piece of advice, and I think you definitely know what you want to do. You've just got to make that push, and it can obviously be difficult to be like, I'm going to move so far away. I got to find a place. I got to adapt to a new place on my own. Like it's difficult, and that is a scary thing to do. Definitely, 100%. I can definitely imagine something that's difficult to make that push to do. But it seems like it's what you want to do, and nothing worth doing is ever going to be easy. So
yeah, for sure.
You gotta make that push. You gotta try your best. And, chase your dreams of paleontology.
Yeah, I believe in you, Clem. I believe in you.
Discover a new dinosaur. That's what paleontology is, isn't it?
I think so. It's
dinosaurs, right?
Is it?
I
Probably.
think so. Ancient life from dinosaurs to prehistoric plants, mammals, fish, insects, fungi, and even microbes.
That would be very cool. You could maybe find one of those, you know, preserved little insects in like the little, what's it called? The gemstones. Are they in gemstones?
Oh yeah, like the little.
They're in like jade or whatever the fuck it is.
I forget what it's called. Yeah. little.
Yeah, I don't know.
Things. Yeah, like from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you could do that. That'd be great.
Yeah. That'd be good. Good luck, Clem.
Yeah, I hope you have a great time, Clem.
Keep us updated.
Yeah, for
Let
sure.
us know
Keep us updated.
what you decide, how you get on. Okay, next up, we have got one from Disciple Nick Zan, who says, "G'day, James and Ty. No, hold on. Sorry, that's Clubhouse. G'day, James and George. Hope you're both excited as we are for this new podcast. I bet it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for all the episodes to come. Just got a quick question for you guys this week. When is the Bisquillion hour-long Horizon video coming out?" Oh, we already talked about this. I'm so excited for it. It's been the wait has been so long. I just want to consume another Fong-eared Locks masterpiece. Have a great week, lads. Nick.
I reckon it'll probably come out hopefully in time for the 1 year anniversary of Horizon Forbidden West.
You really think you're gonna get it done that soon?
Well, yeah, I reckon I maybe. I don't know. When did it come out? Like mid-February?
23rd of February.
Oh, if that video isn't done before the 23rd of February, then I've done something wrong. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I can live up to
You're
that.
You're gonna edit an 11.5-hour video in 3 weeks.
We'll see. We'll see. Look, I probably won't.
That's insane if true. If you do, I will I'll PayPal you £100. There's
Oh my
no
god,
way.
you've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That is £100
And I will do
right
it.
there. Look,
I
mate,
will do
that's
it.
giving me incentive to fucking do it now. I mean, look, I'm just
There's
saying,
no way.
if I haven't done it though by that time, like I need to get it done. I've been working on it for far too long, man. It just needs to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, who was that
True.
that asked that question?
Nick Zan.
Yeah, Nick San. Hopefully in time for the fucking anniversary, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be in March.
see.
But yeah, we will see. Before I turn
We'll
22. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully.
March the 20th. So we'll see. We'll fucking see.
Okay. Next up, we've got Epic Alaric, who says, "Hi, James and George. I need some good old-fashioned Clubhouse advice. Oh, no, sorry, Horsey and Fox advice."
Well,
That's
yeah.
the second time we've had that. I hope George is as good at Tyler as giving advice, otherwise I'm going to cancel my
I
pledge and
am
go see a
not.
therapist.
I'm not as good as Tyler at giving advice, I promise you.
Yeah, look, I like to think that I've picked up enough Tylerisms in my life to know what to say to you, so let's go.
Let's go.
So I have a very important and crucial question that may or may not decide the entire course of my life. Should I smuggle some hash into the UK?
Amazing.
Basically, I have a younger cousin that lives in the UK, and I just learned that he decided to follow in the footsteps of his elders, aka me, and start pushing some of the devil's letters.
Amazing.
Anyway,
What, selling
we were
it?
talking. I guess
that's
what
what
he means?
pushing means.
Pushing?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that used in reference to selling it before.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking on Snap about the next time I come over, and I jokingly said I should bring some of my hash so we can compare which one is better. And he tells me, yeah, I can bring some, no problem, and there's no way they would check me at the airport. I thought there's no way that's true, but I asked a whole bunch of my friends, and they all say you can bring a couple of grams, and 99% of the time you'll be fine.
No, don't
so
fucking
what
do
you
that.
guys think? Should I do it, or am I a dumb cunt?
Don't
also,
do that.
And then he says, also, George should order a hot fudge sundae this episode. I'll personally pay for it.
Oh mate, I wish I would have read this at the beginning, you bastard.
that would've been
How would I
good.
even
They
get
also-
a hot fudge sundae?
Yeah, how would you get when they don't serve
They
them?
don't do it over here. I can't believe it.
No,
I'll order a
we can't do
McFlurry
that.
at the very least. Yeah,
my
don't
God.
fucking bring weed into an airport and through fucking customs because it won't get through. Just don't do that. Like I know that you can
Oh,
get
God.
weed imported, but like that's people that do it for a living, and like you know
It's different, yeah.
Yeah.
You can get plenty of stuff imported. You can't even bring a fucking apple on a plane.
exactly. You can't bring
You're
too
not
much
allowed.
water.
You can't bring bread. Like,
It's insane. Do not
If you
bring
if you
hash
bring-
with you.
if you have a loaf of bread in your suitcase, they're going to arrest you.
They will, exactly. If you got a
you
big
can't
baguette
bring weed.
in there.
It's not going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
They're not,
just the smell of
no.
hash anyway. Like, I mean, I think that'd be so obvious.
Yeah,
You know.
there's no way that's gonna work, dude. There's no way that's gonna work.
Yeah, you could maybe next time you could just maybe go onto the dark web and get hash that way. I have friends that have done that. It's very easy.
But it's not even like he needs it though. His friend literally has. They just wanted to compare what he has and what his friend has. They just wanted to compare. Like, it's not like he even needs it. Like, his friend has some.
Just go on Discord and smoke. Oh, I guess you can't do that because I guess then you can't like pass the joint through Discord and have the other dude taste.
You can go, like, he's going over to visit his cousin.
Mm.
You can try his cousin's there. His cousin could then come over to him, and they could try his.
You could,
there.
yeah,
like,
you could.
You don't have to smuggle it through an airport.
Don't do it
It's
yourself.
Not gonna work.
Don't do it yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to risk that.
Next time you're in
they
England,
will catch you.
sync it up. Go onto the dark web, sync it up with when you're going to arrive, and like order some hash to your friend's house. When and hopefully it'll sync up with when you go over there, and then you can just do that instead of. How old are you? Fucking thinking that you can smuggle weed through fucking customs into the UK.
How fucking old are you?
Sorry, I just don't know why that's a plausible question that someone's asked.
Yeah, no. Everybody knows,
Oh god.
It's not there's plenty of stuff that is even if weed is legal, you can't do that. You can't smuggle a beer through.
No,
beer is legal, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
They don't let you bring a liter bottle of water. It's not gonna work.
I feel like
it's not
it wouldn't
gonna
work. Post
No, not at
9/11, I feel like it just wouldn't.
No, unless you're really smuggling it like a professional
It's up your ass.
smuggler. Yeah, unless you're really hiding it. But in that case, you're not asking that. You're asking, is it actually okay, and they won't do anything to you.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you do put it up your ass, just remember you have to smoke it later. So I mean, have fun with that.
I assume it's in a bag, right?
But still, it may have ass residue on it.
Well, maybe just put it in 3 bags worth.
Yeah, but then you've got to put something
bags.
really big up your ass. So I mean,
True. That's a good point. Shit. Okay.
You could use lube, I guess. Get it up there.
Oh my god. What a nightmare.
This is a horrible fucking. This turned into a horrible fucking answer now.
Do not smuggle fucking anything that you're not supposed to have through customs.
But if you do,
it'll be a nightmare for you.
But if you do it, it'll be really cool.
If you do it though, it would be really cool. As well though, it's not just the problem of smuggling a thing you're not supposed to have through customs. You're also weed is not legal in the UK.
No, it's not.
So
it's a class B substance.
You're gonna be arrested too.
You will be. You'll be apprehended by the Metropolitan Police when you arrive.
Even if you get it through customs on your end, you're gonna be arrested when you land.
You will be.
Even if you bring a bottle of water through, you're gonna get pulled into a separate thing, and they're gonna be like, no, you can't have that. Whatever, blah blah blah. They'll take it away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're bringing through illegal things, they're going to arrest you.
They will. They'll take you down
can't
to Scotland
do
Yard,
that.
mate.
No, that's terrible. I can't believe all of your friends told you you'd be fine.
That's
crazy.
That is insane.
What the fuck?
Imagine walking through
Who are your friends?
Gatwick Airport with a big ball of hash in your pocket, and you're just like, yeah, mate. It's fucking great.
Are you fine? They won't check me.
They'll never check. Nah, it doesn't work like that, man.
Oh my god, that's don't do that. Don't do that, Alan.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Oh my god. Okay, right, moving on. Next topic is from TJ, who says, "Hey James and George, I have a simple question for you two. What are some dream countries that you would like to visit one day? Looking forward to the start of the new podcast. Where do you want to visit?"
I'd like to go to Norway. That's a pretty cool one. I would.
That'd be interesting.
My friends went to Norway very recently, and I couldn't go with them because I was busy.
Oh no.
But
you were busy. What were you doing?
Well, it was my other friend's birthday, and we'd already agreed that we were going to go to there, so we didn't want to, just cancel all of a sudden. Italy. I think it would be cool to go to Russia or somewhere in the former Soviet Union at some point. Yeah, I think it would be really
dangerous
cool.
though.
Well, not. Well, I guess maybe. I mean, I'm just a normal standard man.
I mean, Russia's currently at war.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe not right now, but I mean, in the future. Oh, mate, I want to go Ukraine, mate. Yeah, I'm going there next week.
Oh my god, George in 1940. Man, it'd be kind of good to visit Germany. I kind of would love to visit Germany.
Yeah, but I mean, the war is in Ukraine. It's not in Russia, so I reckon.
Yeah, the war also wasn't in Germany either.
That's true, but they were the Nazis. They were bad. The Russians now, they're
so
alright.
is Russia. Russia's bad.
No.
What do you mean?
Putin bad. Russian people are good. I'm sure they're very hospitable.
Well,
people.
yeah, I'm sure the general Russian citizens are fine.
Yeah, and I walk up to them and I go "Spasiba," which means thank
I'm sure
you.
the normal German citizens were fine. It was just Hitler and his lackeys.
Exactly. So what's wrong with going to Nazi Germany? Let's be
honest.
honest.
But you wouldn't want to, would you? You wouldn't be like, "No, I'm gonna go on a trip to Nazi Germany."
I feel like it's different though. The Nazis could be a little bit more crazy with how mental they were, whereas I feel like Russia they've got to be a little bit more subtle because otherwise it'd just be all over social media. They'd be like, "What the fuck's going on, mate? They got fucking."
I mean, it is on
shit.
social media, isn't it? Though.
That's true. But it's fine.
But I guess it is, but it's fine. It is a sliding scale of
Look,
how bad is the invasion that the country is doing, I guess. It's not quite as bad as Nazi Germany.
When all this is over, maybe I'll go Russia one day. Not right now.
Yeah, maybe.
It would be cool. Where else? Like, I don't really
I don't
know.
Japan?
Japan would be cool, like especially Tokyo. Something mental that I found out yesterday. Yeah, Tokyo is 2,000 times bigger than New York City.
What?
Yes.
How?
It's fucking insane. 39 million people live in Tokyo. It's such
That's
a huge
insane.
city. If you look at it from like a satellite view, it's such a ridiculous amount of space that it takes up on the island of Japan, or like that sort
That's
of
crazy.
the mainland. It is mental how big Tokyo is.
Damn.
Like you could travel
would
for
be
weeks in
fun,
Tokyo
though.
and still not leave the city. It's
so
fucking
weird.
mental. I know. It's like a fucking like a anime fucking super city or some shit. It's mental.
It would be sick to visit Tokyo. I'd really love to go.
It would be.
I think that'd be cool. I'd be a fucking Persona tourist. I'd go to all the Persona 5 locations.
You
It'd
go
be
to
fucking embarrassing, but I'd
school.
love it. Yeah, I'd go around. I'd go
to a
little-
high
little
school.
cafe. I'd go to a high school.
Oh god.
Just I would loiter around a high school and
Oh
take
god.
pictures.
No, Jesus Christ. No. I can't believe it.
But no, yeah, that would be cool. And
Japan would be
Italy,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
is one I really. I mean, I'm gonna go Italy this year at some point.
Ooh, fucking hell.
Me and Elva need to book it, but
Mm.
that's the plan, to go to Florence
Oh,
and the
mate.
surrounding areas. You know, San Gimignano, Monterey,
Yeah, man.
Pisa and stuff.
You love to see it. That'd be
And
sick.
yeah, go to all the stuff. You know, eat some good food, have some wine.
Have some pasta.
Yeah, and it should. You know, that'll be cool. That'll be good.
that would be sick. Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, definitely that. And I think going back to New York would be good, because
Definitely,
when we
yeah.
went that time, I don't remember any of it, to be honest
Well,
with
that's
you.
because you spent most of your time in the hotel suite.
Well, to be fair, so did you though.
Well, yeah, but I also ran about. All right, so fuck off.
Okay. I mean, I remember the time we went through Times Square, and I remember that, where we were just on our own, and we got bombarded by people trying to give us their mixtapes.
I remember
that
the
was a whole
9/11
thing.
memorial as well, of course.
I
but
remember that too.
I don't think I was old enough to fully appreciate it. I was probably being wildly disrespectful as well in some way.
Probably. Yeah,
Probably just like
that's
laughing
true.
at shit and like being.
I found in my. I was looking through pictures of when we were in New York the other day, and there's one that I have saved from my Snapchat story that just has a picture of the memorial, and it says Bush did it.
Oh,
caption.
that's in such bad taste, man.
Oh no!
You're at a fucking
20
memorial where these people.
2015 was
God.
it's literally you could see the names of the people who died. and,
Fucking
like,
hell,
just being
man.
an edgy fucking kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably was like so annoyed. I was thinking about this last night because I was talking to my mate because he's been to the 9/11 memorial as well. I was thinking about it. Like I was probably just so unaware of how annoying I was being. Like, I don't even remember if I was being annoying, but I just
I don't
assumed
remember
that
it
I
either.
was. I just assumed that I was just being really fucking obnoxious and just being
Yeah,
like, oh my god, 9/11.
9/11 funny meme. But no, yeah, I think it'd be nice to go back to New York, visit again, really take it in, really like soak in the city and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
like go on a little adventure, you know.
yeah, just see what's around. You know, try some local like pizza place or something.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, there's so much good
know.
food in New York that we just didn't even
Yeah.
engage with.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be less. Like I think I would like to. Like I still want to do tourist things. Like I want to go see things that are iconic to places that you visit. But
yeah.
also like I'd like to be a bit more casual than maybe we were when we used to go away places with our parents. Like I
Yeah,
feel like it's a
yeah.
generational thing. Like
Yeah.
your parents really want everything like perfectly planned. Like you want to plan things. You want to know what you're doing.
Definitely.
But you also want to soak in the atmosphere and the culture.
Yeah, for
Whereas
sure.
I feel like whenever we would go places with mum and dad, it would be like we go to a foreign country and we just like find the most English things we could find
Yeah,
and
exactly.
gravitate to them.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, we got to go to the English shop when we're in America, and like
Yeah.
we're gonna have the most English food and like all of the
Yeah.
brands that we recognize and stuff. And it's like that's
Yeah.
not like
it's like
you
people
wanna
that go
soak in
to
the
like
culture.
go to like countries in like Europe or like Africa or Asia, and they go for like a week, but they spend that week in a very westernized resort and they don't go out of that, and they don't experience what the local life is like, or you know what the cuisine is like. What cuisine you got over there, mate? Like, you know, it's like if I'm going to another country, I'm not going there to just enjoy a break. I'm not going there for the weather. I'm going there for the culture and to experience a different way of life and to see how other people live on, you know, this mental fucking rock that we live on, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of like traveling around, and that would be fun to like, you know, going to somewhere like Italy or going to Japan, like just soaking in the atmosphere and the way people live there,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
like the way people are, and like, you know, speaking with people and like just sort of getting immersed in your surroundings and things.
And if I go to Japan, maybe we can meet Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, exactly. I guess. Is she the one with the big hair?
Yeah, the
And
big,
she's
like
a
teal hair, the cyan hair, whatever it is, the blue hair.
she's like a singer, but she's not real.
Yeah, she's a great character. I actually don't know anything about her, to be honest. I just know that Hatsune Miku's a very funny name, and it's satisfying to say. So,
Oh man.
good times. Yeah, that's where we want to go. We want to go to all sorts of places, man. Russia.
Yeah. Russia most of all.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't even mind going like somewhere like India either, to be fair. Like, even it's a very busy place, and I think it would be like sensory overload, but I think it is a very interesting, like, it's so densely like populated over there. There's like so many different like ways of life, and Buddhist temples, and you know, different religions like Sikhs, and just loads of different cultures that sort of bleed
there's a
into
lot
each
going
other.
on.
And obviously, I'm sure, you know, the wildlife and nature in India is probably beautiful as well. But again, I mean, I'm quite an anxious person. I still am, deep down.
Yeah.
It would be terrifying being in like a city in India. With how
oh my
busy
God, that
it
would
is
be
and what the
crazy.
traffic's like, and you know, everyone trying to sell
They
you
drive
stuff.
like fucking maniacs there.
Yeah, it's insane.
The lanes do not matter. They're just drifting in and out of like fucking traffic.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, there's so
But the
like you said, it's
food,
densely
would be
packed
so
and-
good. Ooh.
True.
Although they eat so much spice over there. It's like people that have travelled to India sort of. There's like a period where your body has to become accustomed to the amount of spice that they have in their food over there. So it's like
That'd be good.
you like shit your lungs out and shit for like a few days until you become accustomed to it.
That'd be the best experience.
I mean,
to
that
be
wouldn't
honest.
be good, to be fair, but I feel like it would be
Nah, I'd love
worth
it.
the cultural experience.
It
But
would
again,
be worth it. Yeah, exactly.
India is a lot to take in, and I don't know if I'd ever be like capable of it.
You'd have to work your way up to it.
Yeah.
Start easier, get more experience traveling and
Yeah.
understanding things, and then like, you know, work up to harder places that are a bit more foreign and
Yeah, for sure.
different. But yeah, yeah, plenty of places would be nice to go to and experience.
Yeah,
I
man, for
think
sure.
That'd be good fun. All right, next up we got Connoisseur Sam is paying James's water bill. Says, "Hey lads, so happy to see this finally come to fruition. Excited for the show and hope it lasts quite a while. I wanted to wish you all the best on this scuff journey and lead you in with a fitting quote that plays into this new beginning quite well. I know my doors. I like doors. If I'm good for anything, it's
Oh my
identifying
God.
doors.
Fucking
That's
hell.
Pivot, isn't it?
That's Pivot from fucking Blood-Soaked Drenger, fucking AI
Yeah.
Dungeon series.
That's classic.
It really
It's identifying doors. What I don't like though is Jasmine. She's a fucking bitch.
What? I don't
See,
remember that.
no, I don't remember that either. That's a Clubhouse reference.
Oh, I see.
So anyone that's listening to Clubhouse, you'll get the reference.
It's a nice little Easter egg.
Anyone that hasn't, you will not. But thank you very much.
I
for the
haven't,
quote.
so I don't even care. Amazing.
He ends it off saying, "This year will be full of good stories, I reckon. So I'll try my best to be as stupid as last year to enhance your content." Connoisseur Sam out.
Absolute legend.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for the comment.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, next one is from Zarek, who says, "My question is, should I quit my job so I won't stuck on my home for a few more years?"
What?
He's got a bit of context here. For context, ever since COVID-19 lockdown, my company hasn't returned to our office. It's almost 3 years now. We still haven't returned. I'm kind of an introvert. My job is the only reason I ever leave my home, potentially meet new people. I know it's kind of stupid to leave your job so you won't be stuck in your home for more years. I've already applied to many companies, but none accepts me that paid better than the job I'm currently employed at. My company still has no plans to return to the office. Transportation in my country is fucked. It takes hours to arrive at the company. Even all the hassle commuting to work could bring. I still miss working with other people. Physically, they're not just some voice in my laptop.
Oh no, I relate to that. I mean,
That's a tough one, yeah.
During 2020, I for the entirety of 2020, basically, I worked from home for the company I was working for at the time. It was pretty depressing, to be fair. I mean, well, it was also kind of great. I kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. But there were parts of it where I was like, maybe it would be better to be working in an office environment. But working in an office now, as I work in an office daily, I'd go back to working from home. It's not that bad. Like, if it's something that's getting you down, then yeah, it's not a stupid thing at all, I don't think. I mean, you've just got to realise that's something that your brain wants, and you can't go against that. If that's something that you want to do, just fucking do it. Obviously, don't just outright quit your job. Make sure that you do find a new one. But
it's going to be a bit tough for you. Like if you don't have anything outside of that job, and like you've said, the only reason you ever left your house was because of your job, and that was what got you out of your house, then I think there's probably larger issues to work on there.
That's true, to be fair. That is true.
Because you could get a new job that it does get you out of the house and does sort of solve that issue, but that's not a permanent fix, because there's a reason why you're not leaving your house anyway. Yeah. Like, that shouldn't be the thing that does get you out. So I think, obviously you've said you're introverted. I am also. I can relate. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like it's one of those things where you're probably going to have to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit to be able to get out of this, I don't know, whatever's going on that's making you, not want to leave your house other than your job. And I'm not saying you don't leave your house at all. You probably do go places, right? Probably not just in your house, literally 24/7. Like, you probably go somewhere. Yeah. But like, regularly to, whether it's to, see friends or whatever else. I guess the classic Tyler advice: go out,
get a hobby,
find a hobby, learn a skill, learn a language, get involved with something that gets you out the house and grows you as a person and pushes you out of your comfort zone. It's always a good thing. Obviously, it can be difficult to do. I'm not saying it's not. For starting something new, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is always difficult, but you got to always remind yourself that it's worth it. It's always worth it, because a year from now, if you do it, you'll thank yourself.
For sure.
So I think that's probably it. But for the job thing, like, if you genuinely do just need to work in an office, you don't like working at home, regardless of what gets you out of the house, then you probably do need to, you do need to be considering looking for a new job. Like, maybe if it's one that pays a little bit less, but it makes you happier, if you can afford to do that, then maybe that's, maybe that's worth considering as an option. Obviously, if you're not financially stable, then, that's a different thing altogether. You don't want to, give up your financial stability so that you can just, have a job that works a bit better for you. It just depends on your situation. It's difficult to know. But I don't know.
Hope you
that's
work
my
it
advice,
out, buddy.
Yeah, hopefully you work it out. Hopefully you figure yourself out, and you end up in a good spot.
Yeah.
Wish the best for you.
I do hope so.
And we've got the final topic here from Cabbage, who says, "Hello, James and George. Hope you're both doing well. I'm super excited to see this podcast finally becoming a reality. The Horsey and Fox streams are responsible for some of my best laughs in my life, and I'm sure this podcast will provide even more. I have a topic for you guys pertaining to Doctor Who. What would an ideal RPG video game set in the Whoniverse look like to you?
God.
Do you
It
think
wouldn't
it would work
exist.
well?
No.
How would you want it to be handled? Would you want to play as the Doctor, or maybe your own customizable Time Lord with their own TARDIS? Every time you die, regeneration could affect your game in a special way. Perhaps you could have the option of playing as a bunch of different races and factions from the Whoniverse. So many possibilities. Very curious to hear your ideas. Thanks for reading, Master Assassin Cabbage."
What would the gameplay be, though, as playing as a Time Lord?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think the only thing you could do is have it be an exploration-based game where you travel across the universe to different planets. But like, what would happen? Would I spawn on a planet and like an episode of Doctor Who would start, and I'd have to like figure out all these crazy
Speak to people
things?
and like, I think. Do you know what? I was about to dismiss this idea, but I've just had an idea for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would do a combination of exploration open world type things, so almost like a Minecraft No Man's Sky type exploration where something is a large open space that you can just explore because that's part of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Exploring a new like area, like a new space. But on top of that, you need engaging story-based things to occur. And I think you would mix that sort of exploration-y open world gameplay with something like the Sherlock Holmes games.
Oh yeah.
You have places and set places that you can visit that you will then speak to people to sort out a problem, and you would use the skills of the protagonist, I guess if it's the Doctor, like to figure out what you would do in that situation. I guess you'd be trying to solve a problem rather than solve a mystery or a murder.
Yeah.
That would probably be the way that you would do it. I can't imagine you'd be able to do like an RPG though, like a proper
Where the
open
Doctor has
world,
skill
like-
points.
Yeah, and like, what are you gonna fight? Like, how are you gonna die to regenerate? You're gonna like fall off a large building or like fight an enemy? Like, you're gonna be fighting people? Do you have weapons? Like,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah, like
to
how would I
trigger
die?
that?
Am
It would
I
have to be linear
because
I
it's
think.
always such a fantastical or specific way that the Doctor dies to regenerate, or like is like forced to regenerate in the show. That it's like, how would you translate that to a game? It's hard.
Yeah, especially if it's just totally random and like, you know, RPG open world. I think you'd have to go a bit more linear. I think you'd have to go like one of the.
It'd have to be
Sherlock Holmes
fully
games,
linear.
like,
Yeah.
it would have to be linear, really well curated, but crafted in a way that makes it feel open, even if it's not open.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like you're exploring, but really they've just really worked hard to create like a linear thing for you to just move through.
Yeah.
And then really the art, like the sort of the interaction you have is figuring out the solution to the problem or mystery that's at hand.
Yeah, that's like the
And
main fun.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be the best way of doing it. But even then, I don't know if Doctor Who translates to video games very well. They've tried
I
it a few
don't think
times.
it does. We played those fucking Doctor Who games on that web browser.
The adventure games.
They were shit.
Yeah, the ones with the 11th Doctor.
Oh,
yeah, there was
fucking
the one
hated
about not bonfire. What's it called? The gunpowder plot. That was
Oh
one.
god, I just remember one with the Daleks in it. That's all I remember.
Yeah, there were the Daleks where they destroyed everything, and
Yeah.
there was one that was quite cool where you had to learn how to fly the TARDIS. That was quite cool.
I mean,
I
that's
enjoyed that.
kind of cool, but still. I mean, I think Doctor Who would be great if it was like a VR exploration game. So you can pilot the TARDIS and you walk around the TARDIS and shit, and you like put all the levers and stuff, and then you step out into this world and you can just walk around and sort of look at stuff. And I feel like that's the best way a Doctor Who game would work. If it
But
was
then, like,
VR.
how would you like? What would the substance of the game be? Like,
Well,
you'd step out the TARDIS,
a
you'd
lot
see
of-
an interesting place, and then you'd leave.
Well, yeah, a lot of VR games are just very simple like that.
I
where
guess it
it's-
would be. Yeah, that would be it.
It's
like,
for
it would
the
just be this-
experience
yeah,
of
the
like
experience of
looking around and witnessing stuff in like a three-dimensional space. I don't know if you've played VR, but that is enough
not,
substance for a. Oh, it's amazing. The other day, because my mate's got a VR, I was around his house and he's got this like driving sim game, and he's got like a steering wheel and like a gear stick and like pedals, and I was just driving, and it was like I was just driving. It was fucking
crazy.
mental. It made me motion sick though, to be fair, because it was like in like a very fast car, and I was going like hundreds of miles per hour. But it felt very much like driving. Like it was very cool.
that sounds pretty cool.
And there was
actually. I
no
like
goal
that.
or aim or story. It was just have fun in
experience
this
of
world.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you could do that, yeah. A VR game where like you've got a bunch of different, maybe procedurally generated
Yeah.
planets and environments where you'd fly the TARDIS, and you'd learn what all that stuff does, and you'd like choose where you want to go, and then you'd land and you'd open the doors, and then you just get to have a little look around
Yeah.
what's there, and then you get back in the TARDIS and head off and stuff.
Yeah, and you go to like the next planet or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd
It'd
probably
be almost
get,
like
like-
a, like a Universal Studios ride or something.
Yeah, basically. There's a lot of VR games do almost feel like a bit of a ride, if that makes sense, but you obviously have direct control of what's
Yeah.
going on. And some are a little
yeah.
bit more involved than others as well.
No, I do like that idea, actually. I think that probably is the best way you could do it, because I don't know how you would have done it.
Nah,
otherwise.
neither.
I think it would be a bit strange, but
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you, Master Assassin Cabbage.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
For your topic, I appreciate it. But that's all the topics. That's all the Patreon topics. Thank you so much for submitting
Nice.
those. I appreciate it. I'll obviously be posting one of these before we record, like probably about a week before we record every time, so you can get your topics in, and we'll do them at the end of every episode.
Yeah, man.
But that's it. I mean, that's it for episode 1. I mean, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap things up here?
Thanks for showing up, everyone. It's new podcast, new gaming, new sweet time for the boys.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's definitely true. I agree with everything you said there. Yeah. That's definitely for sure. But yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a new era. It's a new podcast. More to come. We're doing it every single fortnight. So
Fortnite?
we're doing it every fortnight, and we will be. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll see you next weekend, or this weekend, should I say, February 4th,
Oh, yeah.
for Final Fantasy VII, streaming that.
Holy
over
shit,
on
it's starting.
this channel where this podcast is, so that'll be cool. So plenty happening, plenty going. Obviously, Patreon is there if you want to support me, and I've got a bunch of content planned for Patreon. Jazz lounges are coming, quickfire topics, actual comments, a few bits and bobs here and there, and I think I'm going to put out a little commentary on Forspoken, just sort of give a bit of a take on that, a bit more in depth than I did here, but there is that. Obviously, George's Horizon videos in the works.
It is.
Continuously. My videos in the works, and that's basically it. I think that's everything.
That is.
There we go. Thank you everybody so much for listening to this episode. Thank you for watching. Oh, I forgot to say at the top of the show, audio versions will exist, but I don't know if they will when this one goes out, because I have to submit it to iTunes and Spotify to get it approved.
Yeah.
And I can't do that without having actual audio to submit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to submit this. It might get done really quick, and the audio episodes might be out, but what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description to every one of these episodes to the audio version, so iTunes and SoundCloud and Spotify,
Sweet.
for those when when I have them. So
Lovely. Fucking beautiful.
yeah, good stuff. Thank you everybody so much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 2. Catch you later, everybody.
See you later,
Have a
guys.
good one. See you later.
Take it easy.
Bye bye.